What is up, everybody? How's it going? I'm back. Back, baby. A long trip. But, how's it going? How are you? Oh, it looks like there's actual community leaderboard stuff going on over on YouTube. Very interesting for the people who speak the most, I guess. Very cool. But yes, I know it's Wednesday. I know what day it is. Don't tell me what day it is. I know I missed yesterday. I definitely have a recovery period I got to go through after a trip, and especially after the flight to Taiwan is a nightmare. Really long. Just the leg from San Francisco to Taiwan is 13 hours in a metal tube. In a pressurized metal tube. Not great for my sinuses, honestly. But I'm recovering. Let's say hi to people over in YouTube land. What's going on, Steve? Alice, welcome. Robert, what's going on? Over in Twitch. There's Beats and Battle Stars. Nice to have you back, my man. I'm confident saying this, but we miss you all. Thank you for saying that. Appreciate it. Frowler, welcome. Glad to hear your system's working well. Ameridan, thank you for the Prime sub. 28 months. Let's go, nerds. Super T30, what's up? Angry Beaver, what's going on? Watching on the Commodore 64. Nice. Pallet 5090, almost MSRP now. I should have talked to Pallet while I was over there. They had some pretty cool stuff on display. I was all over the place, guys. I was all over the place. Like, last year I had a handler, someone who was filming for me but also keeping me on schedule. They were working with Roby. It was Deb, Andy the Lab. They were working with Roby this time, the Roby team, and I didn't have anyone with me, so I was managing everything on my own. And man, I'm bad at that. So bad at that. 50 series going down in price finally. Yeah, it was all over the place in Taiwan. I went to the tech mall. I don't know if y'all saw that short. Damn, walls of GPUs. Bone Shop, welcome. Make up for Las Vegas. Yes, I did. Still recovering. Yes, Alucard, what's going on? Observer of Thoughts, thank you for the lurk. Tuesday on a Wednesday, thanks to Monday being a holiday. Well, thanks to me getting back and just really not having, like, it was like 20 minutes before stream, and I was like, oh man, I need to set up. My cameras are still packed up. I got to get all this stuff, like, and I started doing it, which is why I put a post saying I was going to be late. And then I was just like, this is going to be a terrible stream if I try to go live in this state where I got nothing. So I was like, let's do this tomorrow. I'll get a little bit more rest. So everything's all set up and it's all working now. So waiting for prices drop to MSRP in the US. Alucard, I mean, we'll see if that happens. I mean, remember this. Any supply coming in during the peak of tariffs and whatnot, that's going to be more expensive until that sells out. Happy not Tuesday, says Rutu. It's also not Friday. And I'm sure why I'm bringing that up, Rutu, but it is true. What's up, Dark Force 2008? How's it going? Electrothermal, how are you? And of course, DJ Simple Green, hello. If I didn't already say that. Just lurking, Dark Force, I appreciate the lurk, thank you. Really want to check out the Tech Mall. It's super sick. It is super sick. And also, if you saw the short where I was there, there was a brief moment where Linus makes a cameo. That was actually probably a 1.5 minute thing of him talking to me and to the camera. And I cut that down, so I didn't want to use that. Like, I didn't want to use the fact that he was, like, willing to talk, like, just stopping to chat with me. I actually stopped it at one point, just so I could talk to him about pre-built, rebuilt, and stuff, since they're sponsoring a couple episodes of that, where that stands, the fact that we just got in the new system for that. We're starting from scratch, because all the previous footage had to be scrapped, because it had a system we're no longer going to use, and it had sponsor stuff that was no longer able to be sold in the US, and there's all the different reasons I've had to restart that series. It's been Tuesday in my head all day. Well, Simple Green, I mean, if you're, I don't know. I mean, it is Wednesday. I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday. I think it happens very soon. Told friend in January, August. I think it's the best price, best time to get GPUs. Fowler, the thing is, whenever the tariffs were on or off or higher or lower or whatever, any shipments that weren't diverted, and plenty of them were, they paid those high tariffs for it. And that stuff doesn't immediately get sold. What was happening when that was happening was stuff that was selling was stuff that had come in before tariffs, pre-tariffs. And that was already inflated. Pricing on GPUs in the US is not going to just stabilize because it's stabilizing globally. The US has decided to make stuff more expensive here for everybody from everywhere. And whether they put a pause on that, it doesn't mean it wasn't happening for a while stuff was being brought in. I mean, Hyte is starting to ship again to the US, which is awesome. They diverted their shipments to like the UK, other places where it wasn't going to be unsellable because they were going to have to like double the prices. Good Lord. It was really bad. I think we have to wait till August Amazon Prime Day, back to school for GPU deals. Rurutu, GPU deals also are just usually not a major thing. GPUs are not a standard commodity. They're now pretty much a luxury product. And people will pay. People will pay. And retailers know that. Fun fact, retailers have been doing, like, when it comes to GPUs, retailers were like, people are going to buy this. We can charge whatever we want. And they were doing that. They were at a field day. I saw the short. It was nice. I appreciate that. Just opinion. Happened before 40 series and 30 series. Well, Fowler, we've never had anything like the current situation. It is unprecedented. 40 series being cut off early. 50 series being delayed and then hardly shipping anything, and then it's starting to trickle in right around the time that prices were spiking because of tariffs in the US. There's never been a situation like this. We cannot predict how it's going to go. So I feel the responsible thing for me to do is to prepare you guys for the worst. If it's better than that, I will gladly be wrong. I will so happily be wrong about that. You just need to wait and see what happens for 60 series. And it's going to be about a year and a half before that, so. Unless NVIDIA's just like, yo, we're going to do a basic refresh and actually provide stock, and we're going to try to redeem ourselves. How likely do we think that's going to be? I think RNGs have a decent GPU. Yeah, and you know, it did get better for a while. Like, there are, you know, Alexander PCs started getting GPUs. Other SIs started getting GPUs. I mean, the ones that I hear from frequently have been pretty much keeping me up to date. I can kind of confirm sold 12 different systems on Java in less than a month. Good. That's awesome. I'm happy to hear that. Anyone doing 5090 giveaways for me to enter? I'll tell you, Rutu, I fished around to try and get giveaways happening. No one's giving away a 5090. I mean, not that I know of. 5070 Ti's, 5080s, yes. 5090s, nah. I'm hyped in October. I'm going to Indianapolis, probably. Oh, nice, very cool. Yeah, go to that Micro Center. I think they have one. Yeah. I'm really sad. I was supposed to go to the Micro Center opening in the San Francisco, in the Bay Area there. But for some reason, the airline that previously had let me extend my layover by like 4 or 5 days with no extra cost wanted to charge me $450 this time. And I was like, no, I'm just going to go home. But that's opening in a couple days. It's opening on Friday, I think. Yeah. I was invited by Adam in PC World to go with them for their content. Do you know how frustrating that is? That would have been so freaking fun. For NVIDIA, I doubt it. I will have way less ROPs and will only work for AI now. Gaming. Wait, specific. Oh, if you're talking about 60 series, 50, 80 super duper series. Well, the supers are going to come. They are going to happen. Hello. How was Taiwan? Skeeter, it was great. I was just talking about it. It was really good. The initial cost of GPU was lower than tariff. Would it have less impact? Prowler, I guess, as a thought experiment, perhaps. As a hypothetical, maybe, but it was not. Costs of GPUs were spiking, and all across the supply chain, everyone was getting an extra cut. And retailers and SIs are the last link in the supply chain, so they want their cut too. Y'all have to remember, if you see at an SI crazy prices, you can hardly be mad at the system integrator, because prices had been inflated and people getting their, different links in the supply chain, getting a little extra all the way down. And the SI is the last one to get it and pay the most. Well, besides the customer. Wish they'd open one in Tennessee somewhere. I wish they would open one in every state, in every major city. And they're working on that, I guess. Doing good. Ordered Legatus 2.0 from Alexander PC. All in white. Very nice, Dark Force. Did you use code Braethorn to get $50 off? I would love it if you did that. That's $50 back in your pocket. Sorry it happened, my dude. Should be nice to see that happen. Yeah, I know. And actually, I hadn't reached out. I need to reach out to Adam, let him know. I'm not in San. He would know. I would have been bugging him to go out to lunch already and stuff, so he knows I'm not there. But I need to talk to him about what happened anyway. AJ, what's up? What's going on? I was just in Indianapolis for the race and didn't go to Micro Center. Why not? Like, that's the pit stop. You could even call it that. Not my fault. I'm sorry. It's okay. I believe there'd be another Micro Center closer to you to go check out. Well, there's one. I mean, there's one 4 hours away. I don't think they're going to open one in Austin or San Antonio anytime soon. So, yeah, I don't know. Yes, you did. Very cool. Told them to follow. That's cool. Awesome. They, it supports what I do, but also they just like to hear that too. They like to know that they're serving the Swarm community. That makes them happy. Do you see that retro? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. The Silverstone case. It is very cool. Is it more NVIDIA that force SI to price their GPU high? NVIDIA supposedly tries to encourage, and now it's AIB partners sell the most cards. And that is your MSI, Gigabyte, Asus, whatever. They're trying. They supposedly try to keep the AIBs from overcharging for stuff. Doesn't work with Asus, clearly. If you've seen the Dahab card, but that's a special edition card. That's fine. It's got actual gold on it. But yeah, Linus told me about that. That's one thing Linus told me about. If you saw the short, he was showing me that he had one, and yeah, I wanted to be like, dude, can I like touch it? I wasn't gonna say that to Linus. He already gave me his shaft, so, and now it's like a lucky charm around here. Anyway, I did remind him, by the way, because he meets thousands and thousands of people at these things, right? Hundreds or thousands of people at these things, right? He gets stopped by everybody. So I reminded him that he gave me his shaft at CES, and he was like, I remember. Yep. Hey, Braethorn. Yeah, he's all over the place. But no, so then the AIBs raise their prices. They have their pricing for stuff. They overclock their cards, and they design their own cooling solutions, their own PCBs, all that stuff. And the AIBs are the ones who sell. Now, SIs have to make money. Whatever they decide is generally going to be based off of their standard profit margin percentage, their upcharge that they normally have. Some SIs don't have much of an upcharge on hardware, and instead they just charge a solid build fee, other fees, things like that. But they basically have to make a certain amount of profit off of everything if they want to keep the lights on and keep paying their employees well. And if you want your PCs built well, the employees should be paid well. And no matter what, they should be paid well. They should be taken care of. All that. You're supposed to bring one of this new Hyte X50. It's X50. If you can't even call it the right thing, Dan, if you can't even call it the right thing, I ain't bringing you one. I don't even have one. What are you talking about? They're not released yet. Had to go to Menards because I needed standards to hang shelves. Then I found other good deals. It's okay, AJ. I'm not yelling at it. It's okay. I'm with an hour of 4 Micro Centers here. That sounds like that sounds like option paralysis. Like, which one do I go to? I may get a 5070 Ti and use it for somewhat of gaming, but also endeavoring into AI. Well, that's not a bad buy-in because you're getting the same amount of VRAM as a 5080 for $250 less, supposedly. So, and in some cases, way less than a 5080 because those are up $1,600, $1,700 for some of them. The hub card is neat. The fact that it has armed security to bring it to Linus was nuts. Yeah. I don't know if they were armed. Someone hand delivered it is what they said. It was the owner of the card hand delivered it. Yeah. I don't know about armed security. Tough is good if you want Asus. Prime are nice too. I like the look of the Prime cards, and the new white Prime card is beautiful. The X50 is so nice. It super is. It's okay, Dan. Maybe the next case that Hyte releases. I was thinking Zotac. Zotac is good too. Tell Hyte to raise their case prices by 150% to make that $5 profit. I realized I didn't mention the price of the case in the short, the sponsored short that they paid me to make. It is $120 pre-tariff, $120 with the mesh side and top panel, the perf side panel, and it's $150 with the laminated glass panel. Doing a short is difficult because I want to talk about everything. I want to talk about everything about that thing, but I got to cut it down and make it digestible. So I can't make all of them the max 30 second, no, 3 minutes. I can't make them all the max 3 minutes. 30 minute shorts, imagine. I remember the official name, I only remember the 50 part. It's okay. When they go away from a letter they use on everything else, it's a little difficult to... I had to take a second to be like X50 before the short. I've been ignoring YouTube. I'm sorry, YouTube. Mike Albright, what's going on? Welcome. Alucard over on YouTube. Thank you for watching there too. Steve's the king #1. Steve, yeah. I mean, you are in like every stream, Steve. But Robert, you're in almost every stream now. I mean, you are in pretty much every stream. I'm a Brit, to be fair. We do those. They do kings. They do have kings there. Federal judges blocked the tariffs, so fingers crossed. People have still paid them. Companies have still been paying them, and those products are on shelves with inflated prices. Those have to sell out. And not all of them have been distributed yet. Diesel Re, thank you for saying to hit the like button. Coalition Gaming, what's going on? Come on, Chris. Have you been before? Been in Computex yet? I feel like you've been there. I do want to get Purple X50 to see how it looks. It's gorgeous. The color shows better because there's less glass than, say, a Y70. It's beautiful. Only missed one stream to date. Well, thank you. Never been. Chris, next year, all right, we will split an Airbnb. I can't help you with the flights, but we'll split an Airbnb. You're going next year. We're working together on that. We'll do vids together, whatever. I'll be your cameraman, you be my cameraman, whatever it takes. I want to see you out there. Been in the game a long time, my friend. Got time to go to the Super Bowl. It's case that have GPU fans outside of the case. What? Makes the card. What? Prime case is nice though. I'm missing something here. Oh my God! Go away with this. Let's say GPU became part of the exterior. That, I mean, you'll see a couple cases like that. One of the new Dan case, you can do it that way. It's pretty cool. No. It's the fans that are there, but blow directly into the GPU. Asus did have that one. They did have that small form factor last year at Computex. It was beautiful. Last year I got to sit in on a meeting and it was like, I believe, let's see. Paul was there. I think Brett was there. Just in this little room. We were just there. It was really cool. And they showed us things like instead of being in a big presentation, it was like a smaller room, like a meeting kind of thing. It was really cool. I felt like I did not belong there. I couldn't cover it though. I couldn't film it or anything. Could I join you, Alucard? I gotta tell you, it is a prohibitively expensive trip. And also, the bigger the Airbnb, the more expensive it gets by a lot. This year, I got a really nice one that was just like a single bed loft kind of thing. And it just had like a wall of windows. It was really cool. And it was like $800 for 6 days, 7 days, something like that. And if I had gone for the 2-bedroom one, it was like $1,800. That added $1,000 to it. But splitting that, not bad. But also, Coalition Gaming. Chris, been a content creator in the game a long time, needs to go to Computex. I'm sure you understand that. AJ, just like, you know who to talk to get over there. Y'all should go. You should go. And if Jeff doesn't like, if Jeff's like, well, you know, maybe I'll go, and like, tell him I said no. You have to go too, because I said so. But the thing is, remember, guys, I almost didn't make it. I almost did not make it to it. I'm not here being all like, oh yeah, it's me going to Computex every year. It was a last minute thing. It was absolute luck that I was able to go. Unfortunately, I don't think my channel is going to survive long enough to make it. I'm kind of in the same boat where I worry about that right now. I'm basically trying to reinvent it because of that. Make it. Here's the, if like, you know, yeah, I don't know. Talk more about it. I have had plenty of moments here where I was looking at I was like, is there any sysadmin jobs around here? When things were really bad. And they still, you know, yeah. Northern Lights custom, hold up. I could do this. Northern Lights custom PC, thank you for the $20 super chat. Let's go, nerds. Damn, Northern Lights. Glad to see you went. There's a small drop in the bucket. It is, and I appreciate it, though. Every drop counts. Thank you very much. But yeah, the thing about it is, Chris, it is worth, like, from now, putting $20 aside every other week. It is worth going to that much, I think, or however much you possibly can. Or talking to brands as soon as possible, being like, hey, I want to cover Computex. There are some creators that go with a brand and will be like in their booth or whatever. And you know, then you walk around, check it out, make other content, do whatever you want, unless it's just not competing content. That's how I got to NAB. I went with Newer, and they paid me to go, and I just was helping people in their booth because they were like, hey, we know our products, but we're not content creators. Answer content creator questions, please. And I did. It was great. I just did whatever it took to be able to get to NAB for the first time. And that ended up paying for my flight to Computex. But I don't know. It is tough. It is tough. I know. It's hard. Look at the way right now is short spam. We'll see. Best of luck, good sir. Spam it then. Do it. Drick says, what is the best pre-built gaming and streaming PC budget? 2K less. 2K less? 2,000 less than what? Drix, it's not quite how it works here. If you take a look in the description, or if you actually read the thing that just posted there from Stream Elements, if you're looking for help finding a right pre-built PC or need a custom parts list for a DIY PC build, click the first link in the description and fill out the form. You'll be in line to get some help. We're still looking for parking, lol. Inside joke. Nice. Okay. Seriously, though, I could see you, Chris, taking off with some short spam. Do it. It's the way right now. It's what everyone is telling me. Roby was telling me that. Roby's like, dude, do more shorts. That's why whenever I do an event, I do shorts. Unless I'm sponsored to do a full video. But I tell them when they sponsor that, and I told Pro Gamers Group, hey, long form videos don't do super well with event coverage. And they're like, well, we want the content. We want the, and they can turn around and use that content for 6 months. I mean, they can put it in a video and then that video just stays up or whatever. It just means that they can't like use my likeness for life based on one sponsored video. But yeah, I mean, there is value to them on that. What's up, Zed Leplin? How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Go back over to Twitch. I really need to just combine these, at least on my end. But, yeah. Honestly, it's the plane ticket prices. It is. So, AJ, here's the thing. Here's the thing that happened. I saved $400 on my flight making it like, well, or no, I think more than that, because a flight came out to like $950 round trip. Then it went up a couple times because I got window seats. I cannot fly for long periods of time without having a window seat. I get a little bit, after a while, a little claustrophobic. Shorter flight, a couple hours, not a big deal. But long, 13 hours, no, I needed to have a window. I'd pay like $70 for that. So it adds up. It would have been $450 more had I not chosen a flight that had a combined, I think, 16 hours of layovers. It took me 2 days to get there, pretty much. Because also the time loss of going from here to Yield is about 12 hours. That was insane, but I saved. It made it affordable for me. $950 to go to Taiwan and back, not too shabby, actually. Especially last minute like that. Now, if you book your flight a couple months in advance, you will save hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Is Astral bigger than a Tough? Way bigger. Oh, yeah. It's their biggest card. It has 4 fans. 4 fans on it. Saw a video of a SFF case with handle. With handle that barely fit a Tough 5090. Yeah. For me, the budget cases really sparked my interest in Computex more than anything. The ones that... So, Fantex coming in strong. I think it was the G370A coming in real strong with that one. That one, I don't know. I have a short that's coming out for that. Maybe I could sneak peek it to you guys, but you have to promise to still put a view on it when I put it out. Fantex is coming in with some really good values. Okay, let me ask you guys a question. When you see one of the newer AIOs with a big screen on it, what price range immediately pops into your mind? If it's got a, not the little LCD, but a big screen, if it's curved, or it doesn't matter. Like the Hyte one that's like a phone, you know, like that. You see an AIO like that, what's the immediate price range that pops into mind with that? Joel and True coming in with some very optimistic number there with that 200 plus. Yeah, 250 plus, 350. Like the Trike's cooler, the first one they made, $350. Well, Fantex is coming out with one that is $170, and it has a 6-inch, 16:9, 720p, 60 hertz screen. So it's 60 or 30 hertz, 60, I think. That actually connects via HDMI. All that. You can slide it from side to side. You can also run it vertically and move it up and down if you want, to make sure it clears RAM, things like that. And it is gorgeous. And then $169.99. I think that's with tariffs included. Crazy. So be sure to watch that short so you can see the coverage of that. Also, their new Matrix cases. They're not new cases, but the Matrix aspect of them, or which is an LED of a matrix of LEDs. So the Evolve X2 and the XT View both have versions of this. Oh my God, stop blocking most of my chat with these messages. Okay, I get it. Ad break. Bergie5, what's up? Welcome. So going to Taiwan is good if you're a night rat and a night owl is what I call myself. Thank you very much, Alucard. Yes, actually, I wake up at like 7 a.m. over there. No problem. It's crazy. I know for sure I want a fractal design case and an AIO non-RGB or RGB. I'm not big into RGB. Zintech. Then you need to take a look at the new BF360 coming out from Havn. If you like fractal cases, it's going to go toe-to-toe with the Fractal Torrent. I guarantee it. It is going to go toe to toe with the fractal torrent. Not BFG, the BF360. That is the name, right? I'm going to double check myself here. They freaking sponsored me. I should know this. Yeah, BF360. Front fans are 180 millimeter by 40. 180 millimeter by 40 millimeter thick. I covered it in the long form video that I posted. One of the first in a while, and it is not doing well, but it's event coverage, whatever. Plus, and I said this in the video, I mean, you couldn't walk 5 steps without tripping over a case with wood on it. That Computex, fine. However, they went with a different finish, like a stone type of finish for the front panel. It's beautiful. It's not actual stone. That's some static pressure. Well, I mean, it could be, but that's some airflow though. That is insane airflow. 180 millimeter fans are good, to be honest. They are, because they can push a lot of air while running at a lower RPM, or they can run at a higher RPM and push a ton of air. Let me bring up the video, which I would love it if you guys would watch. It will further add value to the pro gamers group, helping me get to Computex.
Some of the awesome keyboards, computer cases, mice and desks and chairs, all kinds of gamer stuff from Computex 2025. You can go looking in all different places, or you can come here to Pro Gamer Group where they have all of that 420, which got glowing reviews all around. Beautiful case, very high-end case. So Havn came into Computex 2025 with a BF360, which is going to be a more affordable case that is focused on performance. With the ability to put 4 180 millimeter fans in there, and their 180 millimeter fans are, by the way, 40 millimeters thick, you're able to get a lot of airflow at a lower RPM. You might think it'd be a screw.
Yes, that shot was sick. I know you're thinking it. That B-roll shot, pretty awesome. I know. Yes, I did get that just out there with my, yes, it's really nice. Oh, snap. Hold up. We got Igor 1980 coming in with 2 gifted tier 1 subs for the community. Let's go, nerds. That is a tier 1 sub for HD Juggernaut and Jackal 7 Sap. Welcome to the Swarm. What's up, Igor? How's it going? But yeah, I'm just showing the BF360 from Havn. This is probably going to be the best performing case to come out of Computex. Yes, I know Corsair has that 3-chamber case, and that's going to provide insane CPU cooling. No, hardly anyone has the room for that case. It is massive. Okay, it is huge. This is a standard sized case, and you have 180 millimeter by 40 millimeter fans on the front and the bottom. It's and so much ventilation out of the back. They clearly took a page out of Fractal's handbook there.
Screaming loud case, but no, it's quite the opposite. With larger diameter, it's not just the performance.
Look at that finish. It is
beautiful. The aesthetic is very Havn here. You can't really walk 5 steps at Computex 2025 without tripping over a case with wood on it. Okay, it might be getting a little played out. So Havn went a different direction with this beautiful stone finish on this front panel. It's like a granite stone finish. And I think it works wonderfully with the white case design.
They have a darker stone finish for the black case, which works really well there too. It's not actual stone, Rurutu. It's not. It's a finish. It's a, yeah. And thank you, Alucard. You're gonna review that Cooler Master case with a built-in radiator. Hopefully, my rep over there was like, yeah, we're going to be selling this, and it's going to be $7,000, and it's going to be, at top of the line, it's 5090, 9950X 3D. Was it 720 millimeters worth of radiators on the side panel? Crazy. That one's really cool. Once we can watch this stream on the actual AIO, we have arrived. Yeah, we're getting there. Saturday, the tough dual chamber cases have fan blocking plates for top vents when air cooled. The funny thing is, you're starting to see this because Corsair did these sort of these ducts to direct air to the GPU and for exhausting and stuff, and then they have the external thing. What is it? Of course, the tough case as well. But this has been done before. There's a content creator that did this. Let me bring up his thing real quick. It is Optimum Tech. Oh my God, that's loud. Way louder than mine. I probably need to work on my sound. That video was edited on, I was at the freaking Airbnb editing it. I didn't have my reference cans on me, so
This is my to that turbo 5 intake fans at the front. The fan is meant to be cool. Obviously, there was like hot.
There you go. Ducting for every, all separate cooling. You even have exhaust out the front. So intake on the bottom here, sort of 3D printed intake on the bottom, 3D printed exhaust out the front, and then direct intake here. You have a fan to cool the VRMs right behind there, but the cooling for the CPU cooler is kept separate. You also have, like on this bottom one, it goes all the way to here. So you have the GPU being cooled right here. It exhausts here and out the front. It is completely ducted to isolate the cooling for both, and then you have a separate fan bringing in air for the motherboard. It probably needs a little bit of cooling. I think he addressed that. Yeah, Alucard Deep Cool had really cool stuff, but I didn't bother. Because just showing you what you can't have. But yeah, this was over a year ago. It was longer than a year ago. That's the thing about dates when it comes to YouTube. They're just like, oh, it was a year and 8 months ago? Well, let's just say a year ago. So some companies have basically been aping this, which is cool. Like that's when you know you've done something really exceptionally right. But yeah, we were talking about me though. Sorry, Optimum. So yeah, we're talking. So if you look at this, there are some really cool features on this. Like you've got sort of a molding around the fan just to help with things like laminar flow, bringing air in, all of that. They designed the front panel very specifically in a specific way, and the back is all ventilation, baby. It is all ventilation. It is crazy. Now, was it fans on the bottom? I don't really remember how they set this one up. I need you guys to understand. Okay, no fans on the bottom. No. It's not fans on the bottom. So it's not. Oh, it's in the top for exhaust. Yeah. So it's in the top for exhaust. So this is, and the person I was talking to who was also very excited about this was Nick from Starford. So he sees what they're doing with this case. Now, what you see here with this setup is exactly how I would do it. And this has been proven. 2 180mm fans in the top, one of them set to intake right in front of the cooler, and right back here it's set to exhaust, and that fan is set to exhaust as well. So I hope they make the 180mm fans in white. I really do. But if you look, they match the aesthetic by doing black and white on the cooler, and it does have a nice aesthetic to it. The downside though is unless they make an AIO that uses dual 180mm fans, you're going to lose these if you put an AIO in here. But like the Fractal Torrent, that case worked best with an air cooler, a big honking air cooler, and it works amazingly that way. Peter, I'll hydrate. You got it. Igor says, I just want a 600mm AIO. Well, did you see this one? Hold on. By the way, guys, more shorts are coming. I was recovering basically from the trip. More shorts are coming. I have 3 shorts coming from the ASUS headquarters that I went to. I've got, let me see. I've got one for an MSI motherboard that is just like Chef's Kiss. All right, AJ, you'll want to see that one. It is insane, but it's their Ace motherboard. It's basically the Z890 Ace. And it's like the I/O is crazy on it. And the features on it are nice, but it's an expensive board. But no, Igor, did you see this short right here?
This is the most insane pre-built I have ever seen. I'm here at Cooler Master HQ in Taipei, Taiwan for Computex 2025, and they have a ton of awesome stuff on display here, of course. Lots of new options for budget cases.
Those budget cases are insane. The prices are crazy. I really wanted to cover that, but what made the most sense for me to cover was this pre-built. Of course, it was like the only pre-built that they were planning to sell that they had on display, and I was like, but this one is awesome. So
they have their 3D heat pipe technology.
Also, they're oh look, it's Pedro. Yeah, we got to chat there a little bit. We ran into each other a million times. He's super nice. He's a super cool guy. We got to hang out a little bit at here and there. But yeah,
Technology for their new air.
I was just gonna say that their HQ is awesome. It's really nice.
Air coolers that are going to be coming out that are going to shake up the air cooling industry, which has not happened in a while. Now, as part of what they're showing for Computex 2025, Cooler Master is debuting the Master Frame Kit, which is a completely scalable, modular.
Now I'm stopping this because I have some build enthusiasts here in the chat, and I want to share something, but I cannot tell you the details. As part of the tour, the guy I was working with, my rep there, took me to their NDA room. They have a room for NDA stuff. And I just want to tell you that Cooler Master is about to be allowing you to make the craziest builds you want. However crazy you want to make your build, they're going to make it possible. And it's super cool. And I cannot wait. Just want to say.
Adjustable PC case that you can size to exactly what you need. And that is what they built this pre-built into. And that pre-built is the Cooling X Pro desktop, and it does not mess around. This thing has a completely liquid-cooled 9950X 3D and RTX 5090. And if you've never seen the results you can get from water blocking a GPU and liquid cooling it like that, the results can be staggering in terms of difference in temperature. Now, the really striking thing, though, is the radiator setup they're using to transfer all this heat. This entire right side of the case is radiators, 720 millimeters tall.
There you go, Igor. It's not an AIO, I know, but it's in there. It's a 600 millimeter AI. How would the fan setup be for 600 millimeters? How would that break down? It's hard to compete with the Shark and Shoe builds they made. Alucard, the main way that this is going to compete with that is that a high budget buyer can buy it. Like large numbers of people can buy these if they are in the higher range. So yeah. Was there a mesh or something went over the radiator? Yes. We took off the side panel so I could show it. Turning the gas off in winter and time, running the radiator PC. There you go. Bigger than some car rads. Not thicker though, Zelmov. These are, I think, I forgot the thickness of the radiator. So next thing we get is air conditioning built inside of the PC. Well, this is going to help you do this without condensation, which is important. Can't wait for the new cases. The budget lineup looks amazing. Yeah. And I wanted to cover that. And if Cooler Master had sponsored me, I could have made like 4 awesome, really entertaining shorts there. But I really was just there to see it, to find something to zero in on, and this is what I zeroed in on. Isn't dual chamber case better for AIO? Not necessarily. Dual chamber cases, Fowler, offer you a more cleaned up aesthetic. They offer you a way to separate sort of your power supply and all your cables and all that stuff from your regular chamber there. It doesn't really offer you better AIO performance necessarily. You can get great AIO performance from a single chamber case. Yeah, I need to look at the list actually, see if anyone has joined. Yes, Unreal Farmer, Redweight on Redweight YouTube, Redweight 212 Twitch, and Ludrix. Chase Wheeler is already taken care of. This is the person that actually bought the H6 Flow build. Thank you, Chase. So they are Graythorn H6 low. This keyboard is new to me. I'm still getting used to it. There we go. So they are taken care of. Cool, cool. And I'm actually making some changes to that for them. So that's cool. But yeah, and I'm shipping that out. But yeah, Bergie 5, there was a perforated right side panel over the radiators. Basically, the reason I was looking at this was because I was going to go through some of the shorts that are not yet published, just to give you guys a sneak peek. I'm not showing I know I'm zoomed in. I'm sorry. But, you know, since people do need help, that's not the best use of my time. And you'll need to wait for the launch of those shorts so you can maybe give me some views, because damn, I have basically erased myself from the YouTube algorithm, and I'm going to have to build all of that back up. I did what I needed to do, and I, you know, took care of my mom when I needed to, and took care of things I needed to take care of. You know, family always comes first. And then just other stuff. But I basically need to come back with weekly videos again, and full videos. And I am going to be changing that up, by the way. The next episode of SI Weekly is going to be the last episode of SI Weekly. I'm just changing the name. That's it. Changing the name. 3 200mm fans. There you go. That would do it, Igor. I guess that would take a hell of a case, though. That'd be a big case. Separate chamber case would be cool. One tunnel for CPU, one GPU, one for PSU. That has been done, Frowler. It's just, it's cost prohibitive. It's hard to make that make sense cost-wise. You can't get just like a regular case like that. But it does look really cool when it happens. Let me see. 5 120s for 600 also, I guess, would do. But okay, let's get back to this. Let's get back to the let's get to the meat and potatoes of what we're doing here. Sorry, I'm watching my TV, so I don't really do shorts. That's okay. I mean, they're more for mobile. And also, surprisingly enough, like I'll get a couple thousand views on a short after a while, and that's not bad. But on Instagram, they've been doing better. Like the one that I did for Hyte is at like, I think 11,000 with like 250 likes, which is more than what I normally get. So, yeah, Instagram is going to be a place for a lot more content coming up, because it seems to be growing for me, and I should pursue that. I would be an idiot not to. So okay, let's see. Unreal Farmer, are you here? Sorry for the wait while I was just talking about nonsense. My bad. Yay for growth. I know. I know. I mean, anyone who wants to grow as a content creator right now, you need to make short form content. It's not my forte, but yeah. Are open cases better for cooling despite more dust? Frowler, I mean, it depends. The thing about airflow to remember is this. Airflow is not just as many perforations or openings and as many fans as you can get. Airflow should be designed. Airflow should be planned. And a lot of cases that come out, like I honestly, the X50 from Hyte, I love that case, but not with the mesh side panel. It's just too, you can't create a path of flow for the airflow. You can't do it. I even suggested to them that they offer or provide with the case a blank for the side intake if it's not going to be used, because then it's just openings that are just hurting any kind of positive or negative pressure you're trying to set up with your PC. Positive pressure being what I usually recommend. To post them to the Tiki-Taki. Igor, it's just too much of a, is it going to get banned or not? It doesn't seem worth the time investment for me. I have 0 followage on TikTok, and I guess I could blow up there. I mean, like Terrence says amazingly, the Poet says really, really good there. Amazingly there. It's just seeing all the stress that like Carter went through when all that was when it was getting banned, and I never talked to DePoets about it. But it must have been stressful knowing that one of your biggest platforms is getting banned, and then got banned for like a weekend or whatever, and then came back, and it's like, are we gonna ban it or not gonna ban it? We don't even know. How's your career going? Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, like Alucard said, depends on how long that platform's gonna stay there. I'm not saying I don't enjoy TikTok sometimes. Oh, okay, I'm not saying that. I don't use TikTok, okay? But sometimes Ari will share a TikTok with me now and then, and it'll be like, that's pretty funny. And then scroll to the next one, and she'll scroll to the next one and be like, I'm like, oh, that's just cringe. It's just 45 seconds of cringe. Why do I? Oh God, what is TikTok? It's just, I don't know. I'm not in for brain rot, you know? And it's too easy to slip into the brain rot over there. Not to say there isn't a bunch of that on YouTube Shorts, but at least the YouTube algorithm knows mostly what I like. Unreal Farmer is here. Awesome. Let's get this started, everybody. Now, a notice to everyone who is looking for a PC right now. Prices are still inflated. You're going to probably get less performance for your money right now. But that's gonna, you know, it'll affect different budgets different ways. Basically, my job is a little harder due to this. My job is a little tougher, where I got to get the most for your money for you. So, looks like for all three of these, we're doing 3 pre-builds. Basically, if you're here and you filled out the form, I need you to do this. And Unreal Farmer already did it. If you're watching on YouTube, just type I'm on the list, or at Brayathorn, I'm on the list. You gotta spell my name correctly. It'll highlight the chat like it did with Unreal Farmer there. For me, it won't highlight it for you, just for me, because I'm Brayathorn, you're not. And on the Twitch side of things, there's an emote that you need to use. It just says I'm on the list. And if you don't see that emote, it's because you're not following the channel. Follow the Twitch channel, it's free, and then you get that free emote. Just go ahead and do that. I'm going to make a top blocking 3D print for my Meshify 2 XL minus the last back fan. That's not a bad idea. I shop on there a lot. I mean, there's a lot of people who use TikTok all the time. That's why a lot of people are upset about it being banned. Yeah. Yo, glad to see you're feeling better, Bray. Thank you, Onware. It was rough. I was medicated out of my mind. I needed it. But yeah. Oh, I was going to mention also, if there's the thing with no audio, the mic must have been off. So, fun story, everybody. I was doing a short at the ASUS booth. I already have 3 shorts that are coming out that are about ASUS, so it's okay if we miss one. But I was doing a short about the BTF GPU connector at their booth, because now it's removable from the GPU, which is really cool, from their newer ones. So you can use that GPU, and it has the 12V2x6 connector on the other side, so you can use the GPU in any PC, even if you don't have the motherboard that supports it. Anyway, I was recording it, and I stopped. Like, I sort of trailed off on where you probably saw that. I sort of trailed off at one point because I saw on the other side of my camera was Dr. Ian Cutress just standing there looking at me like with his goofy smile, just like. I'm like, what's up, Ian? How's it going? And we just talked for like 45 minutes. And then I went back to record, and I must not have turned my microphone back on. So I know you probably edited some of that already. I do apologize, Anwar. By the way, if you like the content that's come out, Anwar's done the editing for that. Big thank you to him. Yeah, it was just about that because... So I'll tell you guys now. The cool thing about... the cool thing about the BTF connector is that they say it's rated for 1,000 watts. Which for a 575 watt GPU, if it's the 5090, that's much more appropriate and much more within spec than 600 watts certified cable. Plus, they're saying that you'll eventually even be able to run both. Holy crap. Okay, hold on. What the hell? Okay, hold on. Well, Sick PCs just gifted 30 subs to the community. Let's go, nerds. Okay. Hi, Mikey. How's it going? That's a tier 1 sub for Eidolon, Bergie 5, Bone Shock, Iced Eyes, Godimus Prime, Showtime 94, Ben 9244, Houdini 1974, Zen J, Electrothermal, Stendhal, Dintech, SimSima 718, Jolin True, a lot of people who are here, 19RC88, Dark Force 2008, Tough MN, DJ Simple Green, Delmov, Lycos 45, AJCP 38, Mark Alvaro 123, Sci-Fi Fan 9, Council of 13, Angry Beaver 316, Tsukiyomi the Saber Wolf, Rai Guy, Beneath Beat in My Skull, Super T30, and Shaman Actual 9. Welcome to the Swarm. Hope you enjoyed all that reverb. Holy crap, Mikey. What the hell? Yeah, a lot of people that got gift subs randomly were here. You just one-manned a level 7 hype train. Jeez. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. All right. There you go. I feel welcome. Thank you. Unreal Farmer, sorry for the I'm still tilted here. There we go. Sorry for the the delay there. But yeah, we're gonna get your build going. Once BF Astral's out, BTF Astral's out, we'll sell my regular Astral ASAP, just in case I need BTF. Yeah, well, you'll be able to use the 12V 2x6 or the BTF connector. And yeah, it comes off the GPU. It's really solid too. It feels really solid. And if you combine that with a BTF motherboard, you're running your GPU power through the motherboard. No need for that cable. Wow. Okay. I think I know why. Mikey did that. Mikey PCs did that. 30 gifted subs is because Mike, you asked for Fantex coverage, and I gave it to you directly before I even released the short for that. I was reporting to you directly because I know you love Fantex. So, yeah. And for those of you who were lurking, who got subs, congrats, and also thank you for lurking, by the way. I appreciate that a lot. Okay, Instagram Reels show on Facebook, so shorts form is boosted that way. Yeah, but I don't have a Facebook, Robert, and I don't like Facebook. Like, I'm avoiding it on purpose. I don't let those get posted to Facebook. I have a Facebook, but I don't use it. Oh, snap. All right. All right. Northern Lights Custom PCs gifted 5 tier 1 subs to the community. Let's go, nerds. As a tier 1 sub to Sick PCs, actually. Mikey, you weren't subbed and you gifted 30 and not too long ago 100. What the hell? Thank you. Big Z, Biggs 234, Red Weight 212, Asteri Wolfwing. Hi, Asteri. Demon Cat 1310. Welcome to the Swarm. Thank you, Northern Lights. I was just typing that. There you go. Yeah. And thank you, Northern Lights, also for subscribing yourself at tier 1 on Twitch. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Swarm. Does anyone know if RG Loki 1200 watt have shorter cables than regular PSUs? It shouldn't. I don't know. Wait. Oh, is that the SFX one? If it's SFX, it might. If it's ATX, then probably not. I love Fractal. Wish they would do some open air or wall mount designs. That's not their style. If you want that, go Thermal Take. They have multiple awesome designs for that. Also, guys, Thermal Take, Future Dusk on like every case they make now. Well, not every case. Not on the wall mounted cases. All right, level 7 hype train, 37 subs. Thank you both. Thank you very much. I appreciate it very. And Onward, thank you for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate you. SFFL. It probably is going to be a little bit shorter, I guess. Fowler, what I would look at if you're worried about that, go to cable mods and see if that PSU is supported. I met somebody from Cable Mod on this trip, and I'm looking forward to chatting with them. And it was not a formal at a booth kind of. They didn't have a booth there, but no, it was at the Corsair party, which I was at for like 10 minutes because I got there late. Well, I didn't get there that late, but I got there and I was just talking to a few content creators just outside. Archetype Origins and Snacksin and Peachy was there, I think. Peachy Tech. We were just chatting, so I didn't get in there. I got in there 10 minutes before closing and just ran around saying hi to everybody. Okay. What's up, Sailor? How's it going? One PSU that can be used for normal ATX cases as well as SFF. Well, I would just look up the specs. It does come. Most SFX power supplies come with an ATX bracket that they can mount on any case. Most of them do. Kenneth, what's going on? I don't feel like I've said hi to everybody. Tough, what's up? Showtime, hello. If I hadn't said hi already, Lycos 45. If you haven't said hi to you already, Tsukiyumi the Saberwolf, welcome as well. And for those of you who were lurking, it means a lot. Thank you. Mark Alvaro, 123. Thank you for hanging out. All you guys. Okay. So now let me ask you a question. Unreal Farmer, I promise. I know what I'm here for. I'm going to do the work. Now let me ask you this. You listed your budget as $2,500 to $3,000. What is the actual maximum number of dollars you can spend on your PC? Not including shipping or taxes, and not including monitor, cable, mouse, that kind of stuff. Monitor, keyboard, mouse, all that. What do you got? What I mean is, if I'm seeing this correctly, Instagram Reels show up on my Facebook feed. They should, yeah. But mine won't, because it's an option that I turn off if I can. Again, thank you, Mikey. Big time. Thank you again. And also Northern Lights. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys. Oh, while I'm waiting for an answer from Unreal Farmer, one short that I'm looking the most forward to, Onward, take note, because this is probably going to be one of my favorite ones from it, is a short where I'm just looking for cool purple stuff around the show. And slight spoiler, okay? This white and purple Pulse 01 Akko mouse is one of the things that I found. And I bought it for like pennies on the dollar because they were closing. It was I think it's an $80 mouse or so. I have the 8 kilohertz polling rate USB dongle. That's what I'm using here. I got it for I think $30. Bendy licorice cables, not sleeve but super bendy. I like high-end cables that are not really stiff. I like that. The Hyte case, though, the purple one. Oh yeah, the X50 is sick. Now, they allowed me. They gave final approval on the short with me saying that maybe we can get them to do a giveaway as part of a build stream. Meaning, I'll build a PC in one and probably won't give away the PC because it'll probably be using my parts that I reuse for certain builds that I need for stuff. But giving away one of the cases. So if they approve the short with that part in it, that's like a contract right there. That's a giveaway stream right there. 3,000, got it. So we'll just edit this right here, so I have that number. Okay, and I need to mark you as here. I don't think anyone else said they were here. A lot of stuff happened in chat. Did anyone else see someone else mark that they were here? Redweight or Ludrix? Have y'all said that you're here at all? It was cool. Oh, another thing that I'm really looking forward to, guys. I put a lot of effort into this. Like maximum effort. Okay. I did jump off a bridge when I said that into a moving vehicle. Just saying, but part part of the reason that I had so much stuff that I took with me was for one interview. And that was a sequel interview to the one I had with Rob Teller from Hyte in 2022 at PAX East. And we have finally come back around to doing another one. And I brought a full 3-camera, fully lit, basically studio setup with me for this interview. I saw Solid's Cooler Master video and saw you in the back while recording. Nice. The Rob Teller interview should be nice again. It is probably going to be an hour and a half. The whole point of these interviews is that they are unfiltered, as in I'm not cutting stuff out. There's one part where one of the cameras or one of the lights dies and I had to replace a battery and stuff like that. But the other cameras are still rolling that whole time. So it's an hour and a half chat, and we talked a lot about supply chain and tariffs and all that stuff, but also about creativity and product design, where Hyte's going, how it has been having iBuyPower as a sister company. A lot of awesome stuff. This is the lead architect of Hyte. So if you see the Y series of cases, the thick Q60 and Q80 AIOs, the insane X50 case that just came out that they're going to be launching this summer. Crazy. All right, Alucard. Yeah, I'll become a one-person podcast for you while you pack up a PC. But all alliteration aside, absolutely. Thank you for the lurk. That Flux Pro case, Noctua case though. Yeah, I know. And I honestly, I wanted to cover Noctua. Because someone I know is over there now. Attila from EK went over there, and he came and found me. I think at the where were we? We were at a gathering. And he came and found me. He's like, "Hey, Brayathorn, hey, look!" And he had the Noctua shirt on. I was like, "No way, really?" He was like, "Yeah, you should come by." And I just never could. I spent way too long out of this, just doing other stuff. I spent 4 hours at Pro Gamers Group in their booth, 4 hours filming that video, and still it hasn't reached 1,000 views. I did tell them that might happen, but I also told them, and Onward, this is something we might want to consider doing later, that we could go in and maybe cut some shorts out of it, just a few. Of the coolest stuff out of it, basically, just to give them a little added value out of that. Because I don't know, man. I don't get direct sponsorship like that very often, and it needs to be worth it. It needs to be made to be worth it, you know? So anywhere where we have good enough footage to cut into vertical, definitely for the BF360. I think that's probably one of my favorite cases that came out of Computex, along with the X50. It's a case, Flux Pro case with Noctua fans. I think GN scoped it out recently. Yep. What's up, Scarecrow? Yeah, I did see that one. So $3,000 is our budget. Sorry, I'm getting back to this. I'm so much distractions. He's coming back from a long trip. That's how I'm going to be with all these stories and everything. So we're looking at $3,000 for a pre-built. You're looking at using it for gaming, graphic design, racing sim / flight sim, and coding / game design. Can you elaborate, Unreal Farmer, on the coding / game design? Are you going to be doing a lot of like work in 3D spaces? UE5, things like that. Just what are you going to be working in? Blender, what are we talking about? Want that Noctua mouse and keyboard? The mouse looks awesome. Gotta say, nighty night, friends. Getting late, getting to sleep. Have a good one, Steve. Happy to see you. Makes me feel at home again to see you on a stream. I hope you do well. I hope you sleep well. I hope you have a nice evening, and we'll see you on the next one, which is tomorrow, by the way. Interestingly enough, I don't know if I should delay the one tomorrow because having them back to back is kind of weird. What's up, G Code? How's it going? How much man is researching for a GPU and all case fan swap soon? Interesting. Fantex had something very interesting in that regard. The triple unibody fans, they have some really nice ones they're coming out with. Creating mods for Farming Simulator 25. That is very specific. Okay. So it's not like, hey, I am a full-on game designer working in this engine and working with this like code and this and that. You're making mods, which is awesome and a lot of work on its own. But it's you're very specific with what you're doing. And it needs to be able to, I don't know, make mods for Farming Simulator 27 or whatever too. Eventually 3D modeling. Okay. So you're doing 3D modeling. So probably in that case, we should think about going with AMD. Depending on what you're using for 3D modeling, AMD tends to do really well there on the CPU side of things, and NVIDIA GPU. Vantex D30 is my favorite. D30s, yeah, are always a good way to go. And there's an ARGB version of those as well, which are really, really nice. Okay, so let's think here. So $3,000 budget. Not planning on upgrading CPU over time though. The one, okay, with graphic design, what software do you use for graphic design, if I may ask? Because if we're talking Photoshop as part of it, that's a little harder. But if you're using vector-based graphics, that's a little different. Photoshop actually doesn't like a lot of cores. It prefers an 8-core CPU from AMD. That's the top performing setup right now for Photoshop. But once you start talking about vector graphics, that's out the window. It's not as much of an element. T. Peterloff, what's going on? Welcome. Going from a 3090 with a AL120 V1s to 4090 and TL120s. Nice. Okay. Are you finding that 4090 for a good price? Are you getting it used? What's the story there? New, and I don't want to talk about the price? Oh no. Okay. What's going on? Just helping people with PC stuff. We're currently doing a build right now for Unreal Farmer over on YouTube. Graphic design is something I want to try. Okay. So let's see. Right, boutique is what you're looking for in the build. As a heads up, as it says in the form that you fill out, when it comes to the question between price of performance or boutique builder, you do sacrifice some performance going with the boutique builder, but you get a better ownership experience and generally some more attention to detail on the build itself, stuff like that. So we can try to go that way. Let's take a look. So 3,000. We'll just go through a couple here. I haven't looked at Alexander PCs for a while. I haven't looked at any of these for a while. Let's see. NVIDIA Studio Systems. I haven't really looked at these. What is the Tecton with for 2198 come? Is it adjustable on some of these? Oh, this is like not in stock. Okay. Sold out. Yeah. Should have seen that. Never mind. Okay, let's go here. We'll go with AMD for the 3D design. I know in Blender, AMD CPUs tend to do better. Let's find a jumping in point that is underneath the price that you're looking at. And then we'll go up from there. Well, let me see real quick. What does the Assassin come with? 9070 XT. Not quite what we're looking for. And if you go, yeah, that jumps up the price quite a bit. What's the max on the Archon for the GPU is 5070 Ti. 64 gigs of RAM. 2 terabyte storage gets you to 2888. But what's the CPU in this? 7800X3D. Not what we're looking for. I miss when Alexander PCs had the configurator. It was one of the strongest ones, like when it came to quickly making a boutique build. It was so fast, and it was just really well made. And it's just with everything going on, they removed it and haven't brought it back. And it's understandable. Let's look at the Spartan 2.0. This defaults to that 5070 Ti, 2049, 5080 goes over budget. So we can go AMD or Intel on this, black or white. What did you say for your build color that you wanted? You want it in white? No. That's someone added theirs in. Cool. TP to Loft added yours. Nice. Okay, so you want it in black. Okay, got it. In black. So we can go Core Ultra 265K, which I think would be a good value there. You get a lot of cores for that price. But if we go AMD, that goes overboard. If I wanted to go for like the 9900 X3, they're all X3D chips. You don't need that. That's not going to help you. You're going for ultra wide, and once you go for anything higher than 1080p, X3D chips don't do a whole lot. If you're only saying gaming though, I'll do it, but and I'll be like, yo, that's going to be a great gaming PC. But once you go beyond that, it's not as appealing. So let's go Intel Core Ultra 7 265K. That's a 20 core CPU. Okay, 20 core CPU, and it would cost an extra $100 to get the 24 core, which isn't bad. It's still under budget if you use my code, but let's see, CPU coolers. 64 gigs of RAM puts it over budget by $62, but we're still very close. I'll tell you what I mean in a minute. What, 1 terabyte of storage? Nah. 5070 Ti is nice here because between the 5070 Ti, I mean, when it comes to 3D design, you're going to be concerned. You might be concerned about something like VRAM. 5070 Ti is the same amount of VRAM as a 5080, 16 gigs. So yeah. If I want to go though with a 2 terabyte drive and the 64 gigs of RAM, we are $133 over budget. Now, $50 of that gets taken off with my code Braythorn, but you're still $133 over budget. It's not ideal. Because I use Shopify without a way to mass update prices, it's very difficult to manage a custom builder on it. I'm assuming. Maybe. I believe they do. I don't know. I don't know if Shopify allows for this many variables. I thought they were limited to like 3. Happy Syracuse Burb. Hi. Hello. Welcome. Graphic design is something I want care put into my build. You'll get that for sure. I recommended a PC from Scan UK. It was a 9800 X3D. Oh, 98,000 X3D. That's like that's from the future. And a 9070 XT, 2 terabyte storage, 6000 megahertz RAM, 32 gigabytes for £2,000. Nice. So motherboard, power supply. I mean, did you kind of have to cut down on the motherboard and power supply to manage that? What are they using it for? Like that's the kind of stuff I usually end up asking. Did you ever offloading your NZXT build? I wish I would have bought it. Yes, I did. They ended up paying extra for some upgrades. So they're getting streamer cables. They're getting a capture card in there that has arrived. I'm waiting on the cables right now. They paid to keep the 14700K that was in there. So they paid the upgrade there. Yeah, they paid for multiple upgrades in it, which that also made my trip possible. Like I would have been eating instant ramen the whole time, and I wouldn't have had a place to stay if they hadn't bought that PC. So they saved my butt. So I give them a good price on it. So yeah, this is a little over budget, but it's how I would build it basically. Now here's an option. I would say run this with the single terabyte of storage and add more storage yourself. It is simply the easiest upgrade you can make to a PC is adding storage. Okay. But you're going to get the 64 gigs of DDR5 6000. That's what I would get. That puts this build at $3,062. Oh, but Braythorn, that's still over budget. Not if you remove $50. Well, it still is a little over budget if you remove $50. $50 off with code Braythorn makes it $3,012 with, all right. I didn't mean to flip that. Oops. With free shipping and a lifetime parts and labor warranty all included. Shipping is included. Lifetime warranty is included. Meaning you don't have to pay for shipping on top of that. And that you can sometimes account for that, basically. You can sometimes say like, oh, well, it's a little tiny bit over budget, but I don't have to pay shipping. So there you go. Yeah, plus custom cables of your choice. It does not automatically come with the streamer cables as you see here, if I'm not mistaken, unless it does. Let me see. because they have it like that in the picture. And if it's like that in the picture, but they don't include them in the build, I'm going to say some stuff to TJ next time I talk to him. Yeah, it's not an option here, and it's not listed in the parts. I don't know what the deal is with that. That's not something TJ would normally do, putting in RGB cables and not adding that. Like, it doesn't say that it comes with them. Normally what you get from Alexander PCs is free, you get free custom cables, cable extensions in the color of your choice. That's what you get. Motherboard was mediocre. Tough boards, I think. Tough board's not mediocre. It's just going to be a little shy on I/O if they're going to be doing some like sim racing or streaming. I guess this is where they cut corners. 57 Ti is very good. It is very good. This system I'm streaming on right now, 5070 Ti, and this thing just, it rips. So yeah, this is going to be $12 over budget after my discount. I would say this is going to be a good way to go for you. Lifetime warranty. The only thing that you'll need to do is, after a little while, you'll need to upgrade your storage. Add in a 2 terabyte drive. It's one of the easiest things you can possibly do to a build. It's very, very, you watch a 5-minute video, it'll teach you how to do it. That's what I would say, or go for some network storage or something like that. But yeah. Now, if you're like, you know what? I know this is right at the budget, but I want to add on more storage. You would just click right here and make it 2 terabytes. So let me show you what I did, because you'll need to do this. I can't share the build with these specs. So let me actually back out and go into the Spartan 2.0. So what you'll need to do, let me copy the link first. So you need to go here, select the 5070 Ti, and then select the middle CPU right here. I'm zoomed in, aren't I? That's okay though. It's actually helping you see this. The middle CPU, the Corel 7 265K. The motherboard stays the same. It's an MSI MAG Z890 Tomahawk Wi-Fi. It's a good motherboard. Let's see. Stick with the standard cooler that's here. You don't need the screen that comes with the other one. Upgrade the RAM to 64 gigs. And you're done. Now, you can add as much storage as you want. You can make it a 4 terabyte drive for your primary drive. You can add another 4 terabytes if you want right here. But that will bring it way over budget. With this as it is, and using code Brayathorn, you'll be paying $3,012 plus applicable taxes, and that's it. Shipping is included. Lifetime warranty is included. Cables in the color of your choice are included. I don't think the trimmer cables are included because they're not mentioned. But yeah. And because of that, I'm going to tell TJ that he either needs to get new pictures of this or put a message here saying that, or something in the text, somewhere where it says, hey, those are just, it was for that one build. Sorry. So there you go. It looks like we got a lot of builds for this stream. Not unusual when I have, when I'm off on a trip for a week and a half. I'm guessing that you're cool with the stuff I'm saying, Unreal Farmer, because you haven't really been giving me too much feedback, but after you saying that you want care put into the build, which is fine. Code Brayathorn. That's the code to get $50 off to get it to $3,012. Now, I don't think I've had anyone else come in and say that they're here, other than, I mean, I know T. Peterloff, do me a favor. If you followed the channel, which you did, cool. Actually, I can see it right there. You don't even need to do the emote. But for anyone else who is looking for, to get help and they already filled out the form, okay, what you need to do is, actually go here. What you need to do is, if you're watching on Twitch, just put the emote in chat that says I'm on the list. If you're following the stream, the emote will be there. It's a free emote. And if you're watching on YouTube, type @Brayathorn, I'm on the list. There you go. Here's for Crawford. What's going on? Great to have you back. Thank you. Glad to be back. If you're doing CAD use, a free version of Autodesk and free CAD. What? awesome. Thank you. You're the best. No problem. Absolutely. You did. Okay. So I'm calling out right now for this is what I'm trying to avoid with the emote thing, okay? So I know T. Peterloff is here. But let me see. Redweight or Redweight 212. Are you here? Ludrix. I know Happy you're here. I saw that. Got to make it back safely. Hope you had a lot of fun. I did. It was a lot of work. And what I need to do next time, because like it takes a while to recover for me from a flight that is as long as it took me to get to Taiwan. I need to spend more time there to sort of recover after Computex, all the work and everything, because I was exhausted going into the flight back, and that was bad. I need to be rested going into being in and out of airports and planes for 24 to 48 hours. Okay, thank you very much. I will mark you down here. There we go. Thank you, Burb. Got it. Redweight and Ludrix. You would be next. One of y'all would be next if you just say that you're here. That's all you got to do. Let me check if you're in chat, I guess. Not in Twitch chat. Redweight 212. It shows you are in Twitch chat. Please let me know that you're here so I can help you out. You would be next. Okay. You got hit with really bad jet lag afterwards. I mean, that was okay. It was just being in a pressurized tube, which is what an airplane is, for 13 hours with no break from San Francisco to Taiwan is grueling on the sinuses. It is rough on me. I basically need to at least have a day before the event to be able to just recover, and I need to give myself time after Computex itself to recover from that. Here, the thing, guys, I have chronic fatigue syndrome, and I medicate it. There's times where I don't have my medication, and it sucks because it's hard to get. But I medicate it and everything. It's a prescription thing that I take. But still, however you feel after a vacation, you're like, oh man, I need a vacation from my vacation. Haha. I can't move. I'm passed out. I'm just like, I need to hibernate for like 2 days. And then adding on top of that, being sick. Yeah, that didn't feel too good. Sarge Marine. Sarge Marine, thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome back to the Swarm. Been digging through my cable drawer. I found my old iPod Shuffle 3rd gen. Nice. Those things could easily get lost in cable drawers for sure. Old backpacks, things like that. Okay, I guess, well, once we get back from ads, we'll help out T. Peterloff. Did while you were gone, no more mistakes, lol. What, the Prime sub thing? What do you mean? Sarge. It does feel really good to be back. I should be in San Francisco right now. Like, I'd even told Emmett, who you guys have, if you are a viewer on Twitch, you've probably gone along with a few raids over to Emmett. I wanted to grab dinner with him or something. You know, the dude's all about food, which is, it makes it appropriate to go. He would know where all the good places in San Francisco are to eat. I wanted to meet with a couple of company people that are in San Francisco while I was there. And I wanted to do stuff with Adam and PC World and stuff, and go to the opening of the Bay Area Micro Center with him, and I'm not able to do that. But aside from that, I'm really glad to be home. I missed Ari. I missed our cats. I missed being here. I missed my kiddo. And not in that order. It's not a competition. Really missed my kiddo, but yeah. Glad to be back. I appreciate that, Sarge. Thank you. Much appreciated. Without fail, I always feel bad when I go on a long trip for anyone who's subscribed, because you're missing, like, I don't stream when I'm gone. So you're missing out on streams where you would be subscribed to and not be watching ads. It feels like I'm cheating you, and I hate that. No more ads. I bent the knee and got YouTube Premium. Nice, Sailor. That's what I use. Because YouTube is my primary form of entertainment, so it is a very worthy investment in my opinion. It's probably my most used subscription of any platform. Okay. So now that ad's done, T. Peterloff, we're going to go ahead and help you out. So let's go ahead and do yours. Now tell me, I'll tell you right now, real quick, that this is probably it was one of the hardest times to get a PC, because you're getting less performance than you would normally be getting for your money with prices being inflated. But you are getting a parts list from Micro Center, and that's going to help. Let me lean back a little bit. Why am I not leaning back? Here we go. Okay, it's a build for a friend. All right. Very cool. So let's look at bundles. That's usually a good way to start. Let me just see what you filled out here. 1080p gaming and graphic design and coding / game design. Okay. It'll be fine for gaming. But we'll try to get you something that you can upgrade in the future for these things to make it better at that. It's not going to be great right out of the box, but yeah. Peter, congrats on the Warzone win. I've never played it, but I'm sure that's good. Okay. Sean Bra, what's taking all the 8 gig GPU fighting that's been going on in the YouTube space, not splitting up the names? So I would prefer that there not be 2 versions of a single GPU. That's a no-brainer. There should not be 2 versions of one GPU. At all. Like, whatsoever. That can be too confusing. And what usually happens is the 8 gig versions or the lower end versions get buried. And I mean, it's like a $30 difference between the 9060 XT and the 9060 XT 8 gig. The 16 and the 8 gig. It's like a $30 difference. Who's going to buy that? Who's going to buy the 8 gig one? Spend the extra $30. Double your VRAM. I think the naming should be different. They could have had 9060, 8 gig, 9060 XT, 16 gig. It's done. They've already got the naming convention for that. Find it a white Evolve X2 build, by the way. It's so much better in white. I know. Like, having seen the cases, it is one of the most beautiful white cases ever made. And it's nothing bad about the black X2. Beautiful case. He mostly codes with an Arduino. Oh, cool. Okay. All right. So just interfacing with the PC. Not a problem then. But good question, Sean. I'm not of the mind that like 8 gig cards are useless in 2025. If you know how to mess with settings in a game, you can run most games on 8 gigs at 1080p. It's not a problem. But I think that we should start looking for 12 to be the minimum. I do think we should, but I'm not going to harp on. I'm not going to say you can't use an 8 gig card. Plenty of people out there are literally using 8 gig cards and having a great time. So I think some content creators make too big a deal out of it. I think that for what you're paying for some cards, it should not be 8 gigs. I don't think there should have been 2 5060 Ti's. I think it should have been a single 12 gig card. Anyways, whatever. Same thing with the 9060 XT, actually. It should just be 12 gigs. Anyways, what was I saying? So, parts list. Yes. Looking at bundles. Let's start with the lowest price bundle. Oh, also, I need to know, what is the actual maximum budget for the PC? If it's $500, I probably can't do it with current pricing. But what's the maximum number? Solid number, not a range. Okay, so $1,000. Okay. Basically, if you give me a range, since I'm asking for a single number, I'm just going to say that top number. Yeah. Okay. So if you're looking for... Oh, well, this is interesting. Ryzen 5 7600X. Oh, it's 16 gigs, single stick of RAM. I can't really put my stamp on that. Here's a 7700X. 32 gigs DDR5 6000, B650 Gaming X AX Wi-Fi motherboard. And it's only... Well, it's like $120 more than this. But, yeah. These all have... Well, this has 2 sticks of RAM, but it's still 16 gigs of DDR4. I'm not putting it on... I'm not putting a 12th gen... You know, I mean, you could. This is a pretty decent deal, though. I guess you could just get another stick of the same RAM. That could easily put it a lot closer to this, though. Well, like halfway there. Splitting the difference. He said AMD only. Okay. All right. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to stop right here, and you're going to tell me everything he said. If it was said before. Now, if this is someone who's sitting with you, let me know what specifically you're looking for now. Friend, if you're there right now. Whatever you're looking for, if there are specifics that you're looking for, please tell me now before I start. What happens is I get the bit in my teeth here, and I'm just like, I'll start going and going without looking at chat for a while, and it's just better if I know off the bat so I can conform the build to your expectations. Is 9060 the remaining GPUs that failed the 9070 XT passing test? Prowler, I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about binning. Generally, yeah, but that's normal. That's been the way it's been done for a long time. HD2 with ray tracing, Minecraft at 200 FPS. Okay, don't give me FPS. I'm never going to guarantee you FPS. You can ruin your FPS in seconds, just by leaving a bunch of Chrome tabs open or by messing with your settings too much in the wrong direction, basically. I would minimally say a terabyte of storage, nothing less. AMD CPU doesn't care about GPU. Okay, so HD2 Helldivers 2 with ray tracing. Is that what that means? Yeah, I'm not going to guarantee you any FPS, any frame rates. That is a fool's errand, and I wish that system integrators wouldn't try to do it. The number one factor that is ruining FPS, I hate to say it, it's the user. It's going to be some kind of setting that I got ultra settings. I see that Alucard already did that. You never set your game to ultra. It's dumb. It's meant for screenshots and benchmarks. That's all it's good for. Or you're like, oh man, I don't want to close all my browser windows or whatever, and I don't know how to click bookmark all tabs, so I'm going to leave my browser open while I'm trying to do competitive gaming. Don't do that. Now, if you say also that you want ray tracing, but then you don't care about your GPU, and this is not me lecturing you, by the way. I'm telling you where there are incongruencies in what was said. If you want ray tracing, you want a GPU that can handle ray tracing, and you don't not care about your GPU. Now, if we're looking to go for, we can just go minimal here, and what you'll do is this. He thinks ray tracing is a god tier thing. He thinks pre-positioned lighting is ray tracing. So, like, what are we talking? Shaders? I copied a list he sent. Okay. Okay. Braithard on Wednesday night. Hello there. What's up, Araxinus? How's it going? I didn't stream last night, so I was too tired and I hadn't set up all my gear from traveling. So, okay. It's going to be 1 terabyte SSD. That is too easy to get these days. It's not cost prohibitive anymore. AMD CPU, no problem. Ray tracing, all right. I mean, most cards do ray tracing now. Whether it'll be amazing ray tracing, not hard to say. And at 1080p, you can't benefit a ton from like DLSS, because DLSS is about upscaling. Like if you're gaming, I think in 4K, it upscales from 1080p. but you don't have much room to, I guess you could 720, and then upscale. I think it goes even lower than that. That's when you start to see weirdness. Oh, and don't laugh, but he wants iOS compatibility.
Let's go, nerds!
All right, I'm kidding. I'm not ending the stream. Okay, I need you to do me a favor, T. Peterloff, and I need you to let them know that it's different. It doesn't work that way. They can't have a Mac and a PC in one system. I mean, okay, I can't say that because then you go looking on YouTube and it's like, oh, we got, you know, yeah. That's what the whole term Hackintosh came from, okay? I need you to let them know that that last part is not possible. Now, can they share files between them? Yeah. But running iOS on not Apple hardware, no. I mean, unless you're very, very advanced in PCs. The reason that makes for an entertaining video is because it's hard and not easy and not really sensible. I mean, hell, if you want iOS compatibility and you want to spend under $1,000, just get a Mac Mini. It's under $1,000, and it can do basically a lot of stuff. I'm not great gaming though, but oh snap! All right, hold up. Jace Wheels coming in with 5 gifted tier 1 subs to the Twitch community. Let's go, nerds. That's a tier 1 sub for Cellulus, Texas Tripod, the Ratman 01, Sneaky Dude, and G-Code 225. Let's go, nerds. Welcome to the Swarm. Well, if it isn't the lucky purchaser of the Braythorn H6 flow system. What's going on, Chase? How's it going? By the way, only waiting on the 24-pin streamer cable with controller. Just waiting on that now. Everything else has arrived. And thank you again, everybody. Chase is a person who basically went out of their way to help make Computex possible by buying that system. So, yeah. So, you know, a couple LGNs their way. Because basically I was like, yeah, you want to buy the system? Also, I don't have time to ship it to you. And they're like, yeah, it's fine. And I couldn't ship it before the trip, but now this gave time to do some upgrades to it. So, give me sick. Okay, just told me, said, fine, just give me a PC, now let me sleep. Oh, wow, okay. Sorry to inconvenience him. Is this like your friend or your best friend, right? Definitely. That's best friend talk right there. Chase, thank you for the 5 gifted subs and for bringing more people into the Swarm. Now, hold up a second. There you go. Now you also have a sub as well, which makes sense since you just gifted 5. So there you go. Okay. Back to business. I also add him 15 times on Discord, so fair enough. All right. Okay, so what we'll do here is we're going to go for the most basic setup here, which is an MATX motherboard. So we'll probably go for an MATX case because I'm going to tell you something. I cannot recommend an MATX motherboard in a full ATX case. It just drives me crazy. I can't do that. This is a very basic motherboard, though. Now, this stick of RAM, though, you can get an identical single stick of RAM as well in order to make it 32 gigs down the line. Let's see. And it's a 7600X, so solid for gaming. Okay, this is actually, I just need to do this. Open link in new tab. There we go. Why are you leaving the builder today? I opened another link from your site. Stop gaslighting me. It's really not an impressive motherboard, but it does have, it has Wi-Fi. Triple built-in video with one of them being VGA, a VGA connector. Let's take a look at the motherboard a little closer here, because I can't not do that. A little too motherboard obsessed to not do that. Take a look at the I/O here. Not bad, actually. 8 Type A ports. Looks like this, I don't know why they do it to where it's like, oh, this is blue. This is also kind of sort of a blue. Yeah, these are probably 10 gigabit per second USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A ports. 5 gigabit per second USB 3.2 Gen 1. Okay, this is USB 3.0. And then 4 USB 2.0 ports. We're going to put like your mouse, your keyboard, headset, things that don't require a lot of bandwidth. Looks like there's a BIOS flashback button right here, which is nice. And triple onboard video. So HDMI, you're not going to use this. You're going to have a dedicated GPU. But you could, if you wanted to, use this, especially for troubleshooting down the line or whatever. But this is a nice board for an APU, actually. And what kind of Ethernet are we talking about here? 2.5, I would hope. 2.5 gig Ethernet. Even though it's not the right color for that, it's 2.5 gig Ethernet. And Wi-Fi 6. Kind of crappy. I hope they're not needing to use Wi-Fi. You said no to Wi-Fi on the board. That's good. Honestly, this is stacked. It is pretty good. Oh, wireless, he said. He isn't. Okay. It's got Wi-Fi and that's all he wants. It's not great Wi-Fi though. Okay. No, I could vouch for this. The only thing is I'm gonna recommend an MATX case. So benefit there, it's gonna be on the smaller side. That's good. But you lose out on some expandability, but you don't have it anyway because you're limited on your PCIe slots. To be fair though, this thing has all the PCIe slots it can. It does though have 2 M.2 sockets, which is not bad for MATX. That's about the least you would want, and it does have it. So we put a terabyte in there. Could put 4 terabytes later down the road if a lot of storage is needed. Better than a 2012 laptop? Absolutely. Let's take a look at cases after we finish this up. But this I think will work, and we'll take a look at the RAM specifically to get an exact matching stick of RAM if need be. I wouldn't run it. Look, there's talk of like, oh, well, it's DDR5 and that's dual channel. No, it is dual sub channel. It is different. That's why there's still dual channels, 2 DIMMs per channel on DDR5 motherboards. That's one of those things that I've had arguments about before with people who should know better. Who should know better. But just sort of read the headline, not the article. So if we do this, let's see. So we can select additional RAM. What we can do is we can go into here, just copy this. Additional RAM. And there it is. It is $49.99. There you go. So let's see how much you're saving on this bundle. The bundle is like, if you're not saving $50, you know, actually, no, you're saving more than that. The CPU itself is $82 down from $180. And they're saving like $20 on the motherboard and literally 1 penny on. So you're really saving the most on the CPU. You lose a good amount of that by getting another stick of RAM. We'll put it on there tentatively. Just for now. He's saving so much with the RAM. Absolutely. Let's see. That brings it to $329, which is like the other bundles that were there. So think about that. With the extra RAM, it's now $329. But if you look at the bundles, the other ones were also, well, this one's DR4. Single stick right here for $319. And this is with another MATX motherboard. Look at that. We actually made a good choice here. That's good. But if you go $80 more, then you're getting a full ATX motherboard and 2 more cores, 4 more threads. We'll come back to this. Now, GPUs. Let's see what we got. Now, they don't care what the GPU is, but it better have ray tracing. And don't you forget it. So, let's see. We'll go from highest price. Good lord. $3,000 for 4090? $3,000 for 4090. This is Micro Center. This is Micro Center saying it's $3,000 for 4090. What the hell? That is unexpected and genuinely disheartening. Good lord. Micro Center's lucky they have inventory at all. Yeah, I don't know if they deserve it, looking at that pricing. But I guarantee they probably paid a lot more than they should to get those. But still, that's crazy. You just take the hit, man. All right. We still need to get a case, power supply. CPU cooler should be included with the CPU, so you're just going to use the stock cooler for now. Let's see. Let's double check that. Heatsink not included. Oh, okay. Well, how about that? Well, there's good. They have thermal right now, so we're good. 7600 can do ray tracing, but 7700 XT would be so sick in this build. They do have a 3060 for $354. The 7700 XT would smoke it. Like, smoke it. So easily. I don't know what else we can choose. There's really not a lot of other options. 3070 Ti. There's your ray tracing. For $350. 3070 Ti for $350 is kind of... Oh, zero in stock. I will note, for the record... In stock, I'm zoomed in, I know. In stock is selected. And it shows us something that has 0 stock. Can we get a 1050? No. They don't have it. You can get it wherever you want if you can find one, but that's not going to do anything close to what they asked for. 200 FPS in Minecraft with a 1050, I don't see that happening. And anyway, for the 5060, they would need to have it in stock. And also, the 5060 is not going to be in budget. Let me see if I can find pricing on the 5060. We'll just go here. Let's do this. Since they don't have it here, we got to just, look for it. Products. Video cards. 5060. What is that costing? Oh. Wait, okay. Lowest price on a 5060 is $299, actually. Where's this from? In stock directly from MSI. You can get it for $299. Yo, do this. That's the 8 gig though. But like, yeah. Oops. What if I choose a 16 gig just to do it? Wait, no. I'm thinking about the 5060 Ti. No, 5060. No, there is a... Oh, man, these are so stupid. All these launches are so stupid. There is a... Did I skip VRAM? I did. Memory. Here we go. Lowest price on the... okay, 5060 Ti. 16 gig. Wasn't there 2 versions of 5060? Yeah. No, they're launching a 5060 12 gig. 16 gig. Or is it 12? 5060 12 gig? Is rumored to have... No. I was in the briefing for this. How do I not remember? Oh, it was right before Computex. That's how. And also, everybody was mad at them. This is why you don't do this. This is why you don't set a precedent to have one SKU with multiple specs. You don't do that. It makes your product stack stupid. Uh, 5060. 8 gigs. Okay, so just 8 gigs. All right, sure. Yeah, go for it. This is like, I don't normally get confused by things like this. You guys hang out, you know that. But no, at $299 directly from MSI, yeah, no, this is the kind of build that card is meant for. So that's what I would say. Here, I'm going to give you a link to this. And if you're getting it, you go to MSI, make sure they have it in stock. So you go here, and then you click on the buy link right by MSI in stock. There you go. I think 9070 XT GPU is amazing. It is. Oh, wait, hold on. 10 gig plus? What did you mean when you said 10 gig plus? I should have checked that here, actually. I go to memory and I just go to that. Yeah, it's all 5060 Ti's. I could have sworn I remembered them talking about launching 2 versions of it, but I could be wrong. It may be the other one's coming out later, if that's the case. I don't know. Whatever. 7700 XT. I mean, that would be great. It's going to be $100 more, though. And I don't know if that's going to fit in the budget. It is $399. We'll try it. That's what I would go for. 12 gigs of VRAM, 1440p levels of performance, no problem. But yeah, this brings us to $729. We don't have a CPU cooler, our storage drive, case, power supply. We're missing too much here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the extra RAM for now. That's going to be a later on purchase, okay? That's going to come in later on. M.2. All right, we're going to go with the Inland Performance Plus, or lower end one if we want to. 1 terabyte, $75. Let's see what else we've got. The TN320 is $62.99. That's PCIe 3.0 though. I just don't see why not to. It's just the best one. It's the best value. We'll pick this for now. Let's look at cases. I like the Montec XR, but it's not. Let me put in MATX. I need to remember that MATX. There we go. Oh, the Tower 300 Hydrangea Blue. That's such a good case. Yo, they got the Montec Heritage Pro. The one with the leather. That's great. Leanly A3, exactly what you mentioned. It is pricey for this though. That's a wooden one. It's $10 less for the. Does this come with fans even? Like it's got to. We can't just like get whatever, you know. Let's see what this thing comes with. Look, it's a cool case, but it's suboptimal for what we're doing. No fans come with it. Yeah. I mean, you could buy your case from wherever you want. You're going to be very limited on that. Surprisingly enough, you're going to be limited on that if you go to Micro Center for it because it's physical stock. Like that's going to be a limiting factor. I like the 205M because you get 2 RGB fans in the front. And it's lean quality and everything. But it is also $75, but still, that's $5 less, but it has fans included. So I'm going to say, like, if you want to get a specific case, you found a better price on it, do that. But I'm going to pick a case to put on here. He doesn't care about looks. That's very helpful. Thank you. It's really a shame they're not here because we like to have fun with people who like to make me choose on stuff. Now, there's always the Q300L, Cooler Master Masterbox Q300L. This thing is $40, and it comes with fans. It's a ridiculously good value. They don't care about looks. I'm tempted to just throw this thing in there. Let's take a better look at it. You have a mesh front panel. It is going to include, I'll have to probably look it up, and maybe just the rear exhaust fan, actually. Just 120 in the back. That's it. So you get a couple of Arctic fans for the front, and you're good to go. Vantex XT Pro Ultra. Yeah, guys, those are full ATX cases. I'm not doing full ATX with an M-ATX motherboard. It's just not a good building practice. I don't like it. I don't think it's a good idea. Yeah. Now Vantex is Vantex is coming out with a new one that I covered in you know what? The hell with it. Here, let me just find it. Here you go. This is as of yet unreleased.
What's up, everybody? Braythorn here at the Fantex Suite for Computex 2025 in Taipei, Taiwan. And Fantex has brought a lot to the show. Now, none of it is really like, we're changing the world, we're making everything completely different. They're more like, hey, we're making our products better and we're not making them exorbitantly expensive, and it's going to be accessible to pretty much everybody. So let's take a look at some of them. Now, this is the XTM3. This is an M-ATX chassis here that for $59.99 you can get it without fans, or for $69.99 you can get it with fans. Tons of airflow here, and it's kind of like a 1.5 chamber case where you don't have your power supply on the bottom, top here, or top here. It's kind of off to the front, and then you have the new.
There you go. Too bad though, that thing's not out yet. Now, if you don't care about there being a big gap in the bottom and you want the XT Pro, go for it. I mean, it just doesn't look good to me, and it's hard to cable manage because the cable's just dangling out there before they go into the cutouts where they're supposed to come through. But sure, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna sweat y'all on it. You do what you want. I can just take off the requirement for MATX, and the XT Pro was the first one I mentioned right off the bat. Oh, the Montec XR actually is the one I mentioned. Where's the XT Pro? Where is that? You guys must have seen it if you brought it up, right? Like, y'all know that I have to choose something that's in stock here because it's they hardly have Phanteks stuff at Micro Center anyway. All right, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. You get the case wherever you like, whichever case you want, and I'll just concern myself with the rest of the build here. XT Pro is what? Like, let's go here. I mean, once you tell me they don't care about the case, that's usually carte blanche for me to just like, okay, here's what I recommend. Here you go. You're good. Let's see. Cases. How much is the XT Pro? XT Pro. That is a $70 case. Sure. And then there's XT Pro Ultra. It's $90 is what it's running now. If y'all think that tariffs aren't going to be hitting cases, by the way, I got real bad news for you. Cases are the biggest pain in the butt of any product to ship internationally. They're empty boxes that take up a ton of space and profit margins disappear in those costs once you add tariffs. So prices are going up on those. Keep that in mind. I got that for $50 2 years ago. Well, it is not 2 years ago. Also, I don't think this was out 2 years ago. This case costs more in US than in Norway. I wonder why that. Why is everyone surprised? Were y'all not around for the last couple of months where everything inflated in price because of bad choices on our end? Probably the older version. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, hey, tell me anything y'all want me to verify for you. I'll do it. If you want to Google something and see what it costs, you can also do that. But like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to recuse myself from recommending anything on the case side. I'm going to let y'all make that choice. Go to PC Part Picker and choose out a case, see where to buy it from, get any case you like. I recommend an MATX case though. That is appropriate from MATX motherboard. You will never hear me recommend otherwise because I have my standards as a builder. As you know, the thing is when you're on a budget though, sometimes you got to make those kind of decisions. But MATX cases, there are a lot of affordable ones out there that look just fine, provide all the quality of life stuff you need, and will encapsulate your system just fine. Power supply. Oh boy. Let me see here. It is really low priced for something with ATX 3.1. Non-modular, of course. All right, here's what we're going to do. I pause the music, sorry. He sent me a PC list with an ITX motherboard and an ATX case. Have you seen the Deepcool cases? I got the CH370. It's pretty nice. Yes, but you can't buy them here, Anwar. They have been sanctioned by the US government for selling stuff to Russia. But it was one of the sister companies that did it, not the North American Deepcool company that did it. That would have been a problem, I think. But that's the thing. You just can't buy Deepcool here anymore. They're the ones who were going to sponsor the first 4 episodes of Pre-Built Rebuilt and why I had to reshoot a lot of stuff. That happened shortly. That happened after I started production. Okay. Good thing it happened before I published anything, though. All right. We're going to do this. What is this? No, I didn't mean to do that. Don't get rid of my whole build, please. Okay, good, it didn't. I got to do this and right click and open in a new tab. There we go. Ooh, pretty bad ratings on some of these. Glad I looked. So this is the power spec 750 watts. SLI Crossfire ready. What the hell? Oh no, which one was I looking at? It wasn't that one. It was this one. 80 plus bronze. What's the actual like model on that? PS1 750 BF. BF gets an E rating. Well, this is in 2010. This is ATX 3.1. It must not have been updated yet. All right, not doing power spec. Got it. MSI Mag 650 watt. Second. Minimum PSU recommended by AMD is 700 watts for the 7700 XT. So we're already cutting it close with 700 watts. 750 watts, I mean. Okay. D+. Apparently these Corsair power supplies don't do too good. There are budget power supplies that do pretty well. That's what we're looking for. Let's look at the A750BE. MSI MAG. MSI usually gets, it can usually get pretty good scores. It was what? It was the A750. We'll just put MSI. ABE 750 watts C rating. Okay, not bad. C rating for a budget system? Totally fine. No notes about any particular weaknesses there. I'll take that. And it's partially modular, so that's nice. All right, Fowler, 1 second, 1 second. It's A-rated. Get out of there! Hate it when it pops up those things and it's like in your face. You can't look at what you're looking for. A-rated. So at $839 without a case, but still there's room for a case in the price there. Let's get it. Let's get a cooler. They have Thermalright Peerless Assassin overkill for this CPU. Let's just look at Thermalright and see if there's a smaller cooler here. X120, $25. There you go. Why do they show it from head on like that? That tells me nothing. Like, let me see an angled view of it. Jeez. Yeah, 25 bucks. For a 7600X? Come on. This is fine. Let's see some details. Single tower. 4 heat pipes. 7600X should be fine. This is the same thing, but with RGB, which you can get that if you like. Joyful Star, what's up? I really want that new Hyte X50 case. Me too. I can't wait to get one. Tanmay Panati, what's going on? Welcome. Apocalyptic, what's up? Another thing I like about the Montech King 95 Pro, it comes with all the fans, I think. The Pro does, yes. It is literally $2 more to get the RGB fan. You know what? Yeah, let's just do that. There you go. They might not care how it looks. We still can. Yeah, $2. Hell yeah, it's worth it. That's the build. The only thing that we don't know is what case you're going to go with. If you're going to go with a case that doesn't come with fans, be sure to get fans. Some Arctic P12s, something like that should be fine. They're very inexpensive. I'm going to go ahead and, actually, we still have the budget here. Even with the $400 7700 XT, we still have budget to get the extra stick of RAM. I feel the need to do that, but let's go ahead and throw a case on there first. Just to take up that amount of the budget. I am going to choose MATX. And you know, could do the A3 if you want. We got to verify the height of the air cooler, though. Make sure it's going to fit in there. There's the wood grain one that's $10 more if you want to go that route, but they don't care how it looks, so don't do that. Let someone who cares buy that case. $946.94. Now, looking at this case, though, let's take a look at our cooling specifications. No, that's not what I want. Max CPU height is 6.5 inch or 167 millimeters. 6.57 or 167. Cool. 5.83, 148. This fits. And we still have room to put the extra stick of RAM in there. The only thing we don't have is fans for this case. Damn it. All right, let's do the fans. 205M? All right, that works better. Let me just make sure that the... Yeah, I know which one you mean. Let me just make sure that the cooler will fit. Yes, it does fit. Okay. Back in the days, cases included PSUs. Some of them still do. Very rare. You rarely see that, but you can still find it. What's up, Adam Williams? How's it going? Lowest price first. Pick best within the first row. Need a placeholder. No, we actually picked the one that they can get. Like, this will actually work for the build. You don't need to add an exhaust fan if you don't want to. But you should be able to afford a $5 exhaust fan if you want to add that on there. $10 exhaust fan. Let's get the extra stick of RAM. Make this a complete build. Make sure it is exactly matching. And you're still saving money with that bundle. I think that's the right one there. Yeah, I'll go ahead and add it from there anyways, just to make sure. I know we spent a long time on this, but I think we did a hella good job there. Look at that. Let me check something real quick. Do they not have thermal right fans? That's annoying. Oh, I put a slash in there. Okay, nope. Then to match the other ones, any Lee and Lee fans? See, Lee and Lee that are cheap. They should maybe have something like a standard fan, not a unifan or anything. Nah, Lee and Lee's got off the deep end. They're just making unifans now, apparently. Let's see. I don't know that for sure. Okay, now we know that for sure. Yeah. Just any RGB fan then would work. Anything you want to add in there. Or non-RGB, just a black fan. Let's see. Arctic is here, right? Arctic cooling. Just throw one of these P12 PWM fans in there. $9.99. There you go. Look at this freaking thick 40 millimeter case fan. That's pretty sick. You don't want the non-PWM one. I don't even think they have it anymore here. That puts us at just over by, I think, $1.92. The Be Quiet fan was $11. You can get that one then. This is not, you're not going to hit, like, you can choose any parts you want. This is a list I'm sending you. You can change out anything you want. Now, what's missing off of here is a license for Windows. That would cost like $120. About 12% of the entire budget of the system. So instead, you can just install Windows normally and run it without a license, or you can get a license from my YouTube sponsor, VIP CDK Deals. They're usually linked in the description as well, and you can use my code to get an additional percentage off. I don't actually get a kickback from that, but it gets you an additional discount. Code's Bray25, and you can get Windows 11 for like $25. And there you go. So what I'm going to do now is this. Check this out. I'm going to send you this link right here. And you need to either save this build to your Micro Center account or add it to cart. Some of these are in-store only, so that won't necessarily work. You generally want to save the build. Ben, it depends on what you're playing. If you're playing pretty light games, not usually a problem. If you're playing something like Escape from Tarkov that's notoriously bad about RAM, you want more RAM. You can easily go over 32 gigs if you're doing gaming plus other stuff at the same time. I just think having extra RAM is not a problem. Now, if I do another Micro Center build here next or something, this is getting erased, so you want to save it ASAP. You see the video Steve did on the glass cases with mounted fans? Yes, I did. I think it looks cool. That's about the only benefit of it. It's not a huge deal. I think it's just aesthetic. It's an aesthetic thing, apocalyptic. It's cool, but yeah. And yeah, pretty much, as you asked earlier about 5090s, they're pretty impossible to get unless you're in Taiwan, apparently, because they were all over the place there. They're pretty impossible to get, so getting it from a pre-built is usually the best way to go. You never have enough fans. Despite having a dresser drawer full of fans, I always hit the discount fan bin at Micro Center. I mean, yeah. I do have a little box of fans, many of which don't match. Which AM5 CPUs came with a fan like their AM4 counterparts? I think the non-X ones do. Like the 7700 will come. No. The 7600 I think comes with one, not the 7600X though. But that's what was in the bundle, and there's a hell of a deal on it. So yeah. You go here to save the. I mean, I don't know why I put the link in here. It doesn't matter because like that's gonna lead to nothing after a while. But anyways. Okay, putting out the call again to Redweight and Ludrix. Are either of you here? Makes me sad when someone goes through the trouble of filling out the form and then just like jets. They just leave. Exactly what I do. Have Chrome tabs open while gaming. There you go. Having Discord open, you know. But some games are just notoriously bad about RAM usage. Now, there are also 48 gig kits that could probably work for you. Go that route. And that gives you the extra edge to where you're fine. You don't have to worry about it. But like Escape from Tarkov, like they gotta optimize that game. It is the number one game I hear about when people are complaining about not having enough RAM. But also, if you like to mod your games, mods add RAM usage. They can easily add RAM usage. So it's something to think about as well. Bray, thank you so much for this. Hope he learn how to use his PC. I hope so as well. Absolutely. Are you building it for them? Because that's pretty cool of you, if that's the case. Very cool of you. Very nice of you to do that. And of course, because you're building the PC for them, very nice of you to offer free tech support for life, because that's what you're getting into. If you haven't already been providing that. Once people around you find out that you're good at that stuff, there's no getting away from it. Your family, your friends' family, and your family's friends. You're their tech support from there on out. Your tab, Bray, only used 760 megabytes. What, my tabs? What are you talking about? Is there a readout here of that? What do you mean? Oh, my stream? Well, that's not bad. I know I need a break. This is why, TP that's the thing. It's very cool to be able to build PCs for people. That is undeniably cool. And very nice of you to do. But this is why I encourage people who are into PCs, who are into DIY, go beyond that and get to know system integrators, which ones are good, which ones aren't, so that you can offload that a bit. Because, like, it's also sometimes not the best for them because you're not available all the time. And you can't as easily do RMAs and things like that. Now, of course, they don't have to ship it if they get it fixed, which is nice. But there is a warranty involved. Beyond just, the parts warranty from the manufacturer, labor warranty, stuff like that. But getting to know different SIs, which ones are trustworthy, which ones should be avoided, is something I think every person who has become that de facto IT person for the people around them should get to know. And instead start directing people to good pre-built companies. The benefits of DIY here are that this is a pretty sweet PC. For the price. It's pretty rad. Not gonna lie. But if you go look at, say, Skytech or something, you can get an under $1,000 PC that is gonna be pretty rad. And then, bam, they have warranty on parts and labor. So it's something that to think about in the future, because the more you keep doing this, you're gonna keep having to offer up your time for free, and time is not free, Like, it's not. The one resource we have that we can't get back. And Sup7, what's up? You do charge. Oh, well, hats off to you then. Hell yeah. Never mind. Don't listen to me. You're good. Okay, so I hope I'm saying this correctly, but Happy Aracuse Burb, are you still here? I'm sorry, I tend to get wrapped up in each one of these that I do and give all my attention and time to each one that I do. I hope that, that's the thing is, I'm sure you want that for your turn when it comes up, but it does take time. I think 5 to 15% commission. Okay. I mean, it's something, and that's good. That's good. 15% is, you'll see that some SIs basically base all their business around getting a minimum of 15 points. So you're like right there. Still here? Awesome. Okay. So, all right, Burb, if you don't mind, what is your actual maximum budget for your PC? By the way, to be clear, TP off those SIs that hover at or above 15 points on profit margin are usually higher volume. To be clear, if you're like, how do I stay in business that way? They're higher volume sellers. Just so y'all know, when this is, I'm not going to give away any proprietary info here, but when we were speccing out the builds for the 2 Black Friday builds for Skytech, I basically pushed them to their minimum profit margin that they could do business at for those 2 systems. I don't know if they're going to want to do that again. But they were willing to do it. They knew my requirements going in to put my stamp of approval on something. And basically, by the way, I think you're getting a similar spec in this, other than, well, that's still 32 gigs of RAM. Yeah, you're getting a similar spec on this system. Just very different case and aesthetics and stuff. Very different motherboard. That motherboard was a lot more than this one. 2500. Okay. Sean, I'm scared to DIY my PC. I want to do it so bad though. Well, if that's the thing is, Sean, that's the thing is like nobody did their first build not feeling that kind of apprehension. I still sometimes when I'm working with new hardware, like when I socketed my first LGA 1700, I was like, oh man, this is like, okay, this is different. It's a longer socket. This is weird for me. I still felt that trepidation. So know that you're in good company. Every person who builds PCs now went through that with their first build. Even people who are just like, I built my PC, I built one PC, they went through that. And back when I started doing this, you did not have YouTube guides, hundreds of them, all over the place, teaching how to do it step by step. You're in a very good spot to get into the PC DIY hobby. Great to see you still got so much care and attention to detail after I've been watching you a year or so. I've been doing much longer. I appreciate that, Apocalyptic. Thank you for watching for that long. NSUP7. So instead of buying from Micro Center, I've thought of another option called Jawa. Is that a good option? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great builders on Jawa. You have buyer protections on there. You can find some good deals on sometimes hardware that is at a lower price because it's used or whatever. And a lot of it, some of it, you know, those builders also do a lot of new builds as well. The thing is, I don't personally deal with Jawa. I was going to, and I worked on something, put hours of work into it for them, and then they ghosted me. So I have made it a point to not go and show stuff on Jawa. Plus, I can't personally vouch for any of the builders, but you're protected though by Jawa. And I've met some of the Jawa builders, you know, through chat and stuff like that. They're all awesome people. So you can generally feel safe buying from there. But I'm not going to go through a Jawa build, basically, is what I'm saying. Because of the leadership of Jawa sort of disrespecting my time and me in general. I built 29 PCs for people in my neighborhood. Jeez, what a responsibility to take on. Back in my day, YouTube was called Yahoo. I don't think Yahoo... YouTube, I mean, was it UDP protocol? I mean, video streaming wasn't a thing. You had to download videos to watch them. What you would do, you'd read articles with pictures. That's what you would. I mostly relied on. Also, one of my first jobs was at a PC shop, so I learned a lot there. That's where I learned most of my stuff. But I was already modifying PCs at like 13 or 14 years old, adding storage, doing things like that. But when I did my first build, it was once I was working at a place like that. It was just a local PC shop. Okay, so 2500. This is a strictly gaming PC for 1440p gaming. Easy peasy, no problem. That with 2500, you can definitely achieve that. Let me go ahead and remove this. This is my favorite track. Some of these bit rock tracks aren't my favorite. Yeah, we'll rock that one right there. So you specifically mentioned iBuyPower. Fair enough. We can go there. You said that you are interested in upgrading your CPU over time. That generally means that I will usually stick to AMD, even though there's another generation of CPUs that's going to come out that's going to support socket LGA 1851 for Intel. It's not a huge amount of future upgradability. Thanks so much for the build. Hey, you're very welcome. And of course, hang out anytime. You know, it's I try to make it a good time regardless. What's the gray wrist rest you're using? This is just a, I don't remember the brand. It's not like the brand name one. I just looked up one on Amazon. And that's what I use. I was wondering why I was uncomfortable typing earlier. I realized I don't have my wrist rest over here for my keyboard. All right, iBuyPower, let's go. I haven't looked at them in a while. I want to peek at their ready systems real quick. And also I'm going to close a lot of windows here. Bam, bam. Bam. We'll leave those open. Oh, real quick, before I continue with this, do y'all want to see a little bit more of the Fantex short before I continue? A little sneak peek? I'm telling you guys, we especially Onware, we put a lot of work into these shorts, and I really want y'all to enjoy them. I try to make a playlist where you can just sit and just watch the all the way through, and it's going to be like maybe 10 minutes for all my Computex content, other than the long form video I did for Pro Gamers Group. But yeah, just let me know. I can play some more of that. I don't mind, as long as you watch the actual thing when it comes out. Should I be posting those in Discord somewhere, by the way? I don't even know. I think I can embed so the YouTube views do count. Do it? All right.
G370A. They have gone to great lengths to sort of shorten the case and make it a little bit more compact while giving you full compatibility with all kinds of parts. Now, the price on this, with the 120mm AR.
Hold on. Come on, give me good quality here. We can do this. We'll back up a bit because I was clicking around and doing stuff. It feels so weird to be watching it in this format here. There we go.
You have the new G370A. They have gone to great.
Are you okay, player? Are you okay, video player? I don't even play it. Well, you all right, player? No.
Great lengths to sort of shorten the case and make it a little bit more compact while giving you full compatibility with all kinds of parts. Now, the price on this, with the 120mm ARGB fans, is $59.99 for a case that can fit all kinds of hardware that is going to have excellent airflow and be really easy to clean. There's no dust filter on the inside. You just sort of wipe down that perforated mesh on the front. Now, we're going to go into the matrix. You have the XT View and the Evolve X2. So with these, what they've done is they've put these panels of LEDs, just individual LEDs here, 600 of them on the XT View matrix and 900 on the Evolve X2 matrix. They're very programmable. You're going to be using the Fantex NextLink software, and the Fantex NextLink software is not very resource intensive, as you can see right here. And you can actually sort of just customize it to however you want. Like if you wanted to have the best color on it and say your name, you can do that. The price, $119.99 for the XT View Matrix and $199.99 for the Evolve X2 Matrix. I do want to give a quick mention to the Glacier Easy Fit from Fantex here, which is their custom liquid.
By the way, I'm probably going to go in here and edit out some of those ums and uhs and where I pause and stuff. It hasn't been. That's when I polish up a video usually. All this work though was done by Onware. But any polish like that, it's just me being self-conscious, and I go in there and I just make it flow a little better.
Cooling sort of quick connect solution here. They have been expanding on this and adding to it, of course, putting in 5090 GPU blocks and new radiators, like 45mm thick radiators. Now this sort of 120mm res pump combo here that's going to fit beautifully on any 120mm spot there, and it's just beautifully machined and made. And these distro plates, which are for the NV series of cases. Mikey from Sick PCs, I'm looking at you here. Let's see what you do with one of them.
Yeah, I gave Mike a shout out there because he was saying, he was like, give me a lot of Fantex coverage, please. So that's who I was thinking about while I was covering this.
Now, this is where things to me get really, really interesting. We're going to be looking at the X30. This is where you have sort of a unibody for triple fans. I really like the way that Fantex is approaching this, where they're making a premium version of that with sort of an aluminum enclosure around it. They're keeping the RGB very subtle on this. And then we got to talk about something that I think is probably the coolest thing here. This is a Glacier 1 360 M25 LCD. We're used now to seeing something, oh, they put a big screen on it. It's going to be $350. No. $179.99. Basically, you could put anything you want on this. There's no limitations like with earlier AIOs with screens. Fantex came out strong, but with just...
There you go. That's the stuff. That's what's coming out there. But yeah, I feel like I can shorten this one quite a bit with just some of my speech idiosyncrasies that I do. Get that stuff out of there, make it flow a little better. I like the matrix cases though, and when I showed Mikey, he was like, "I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like the that on there." I was thinking, sort of the smooth, diffused RGB you get from all the other Phanteks stuff, sort of juxtaposed with the retro-looking matrix there is really cool. Plus, if you just don't run it, it's just a fabric. You don't see it. Anyway, here you go. That's the kind of coverage I like to do. It's just like in and out, getting the important notes on each thing. Yeah. So I was going to look at ready pre-built. Let's see what they have here. If we just put in 2500 just to get a look. Let's go a little under, actually. Uh, 9800X3D, 5070 Ti. Pretty good right out of the box, right there. That's not bad. You want it in black? That is in black. My best discounts that I can provide when it comes to iBuyPower is going to be through the custom builder, where I can get you 5% off. My code with Ready Systems gets you $50 off. Not as good. But we can also just do a fully custom system. So there's two systems here that would fit. Let me actually do this. Sort by price low to high. So there's 3 systems that fit the budget here. Actually 4, because you get $50 off of this, and it brings it down to $24.99. 14900KF though, I wouldn't recommend, so no. 9800X3D, 5070 Ti, 14900K, no. These are all 5070 Ti. 2 of them have the 9800X3D. So what's the difference here? 32 gigs, your 56000 on both. 2 terabyte Gen 4 drives on both. Why was this one 2450 and this one's 2750, 2770? What's the difference here? There has to be a difference in these. Also, they're running a 240 millimeter on these. The cool 9800X3D, it'll do it, but it's not ideal. I do like the new case. The Element 9 Pro is nice. I like it a little more in white though, but that's my preference coming through. 850 watt, 80 plus gold PCIe Gen 5, non-modular power supply on this one. Interesting choice. Non-modular power supply. Pretty weak IO on that, but it's just a gaming PC, so that should be fine. Now let's look at this one. Power supply is, again, 850 watt. Okay, so specifically channel well, 80 plus gold, certified PCIe Gen 5. Doesn't say whether it's modular or not. 32 gigs GDDR 56000, appropriate for the CPU. 5070 Ti. X670-P Wi-Fi, and this one was on the motherboard. Same motherboard. What's the difference? Different power supply. Is that it? Yeah, I'm going to customize the system for you instead. I don't think Sick PCs is here anymore because I'm sure Mikey would have said something during that short. I get the feeling. Oh, this is going to be better. 9070 XT beats a 5070 Ti in a lot of cases here. Let me ask you this. Burb, what kind of games are you playing? What games are you aiming to get those sweet frames in? What are you playing? Did you see the new tariffs court ruling? I mean, they're going to block it, but there's still a lot of stuff that's going to be out in circulation that tariffs were paid on, so we're still going to be feeling those ripples for a while. I saw this YouTube short, which was very interesting because the dude in the short would rather have a better looking PC rather than performance. And Sub 7, that's not that, unfortunately, that is not that uncommon. Although I know I've heard Zach say similar things. He prioritizes aesthetics, which I get that. If it was Zach's Tech Turf, then I know who you're talking about. He does care about performance. He also has aesthetics as a priority. But if you... there was a thing where it was a company called Exotic PCs, and I called them out for having things like a PC that was expensive because of the aesthetics, the case, the expensive fans, all that kind of stuff, and then it had like a 4060 in it. And I called them out. I was like, this is a terrible value. But then they were very responsive. They were like, no, let us explain. This is what people come here for. They want to get that expensive looking PC that they saw on TikTok. They don't care about performance. They're going to be playing in 1080p. They don't care about, all the different performance factors. They just want to get the look as cheap as they can. So we got to take it out on the parts. They get the fans they want. They get the case they want. It's got all the glass. It's got all that stuff. This is serving that buyer. And I was like, I don't like that. They're like, we don't either, but we're not going to refuse their money. So there are a lot of buyers out there like that. Believe it or not. You're not going to find them in here because if you watch my stuff, I'm very clear that, a PC should be balanced. You don't necessarily need to ignore aesthetics, but it shouldn't be the be all end all, shouldn't be the main priority. It's usually for people getting their first PC. I mean, when you think about it on where they can take a PC like that and they can upgrade the GPU down the line. But if the power supply is weak, they got to upgrade that too. But you can upgrade those things. Doing a whole case migration though, that's pretty tough. Looking to get a Fractal Design Torrent Airflow and all AMD. Okay, let's see if they have the case here. Fractal Torrent. Because you listed iBuyPower, I figured maybe you had looked in advance to see whether they have the case you want, and they do. So I guess you did that. Fractal Torrent, sure. The only thing about the Fractal Torrent is I'm not going to recommend an AIO with this, because then you lose one of the biggest benefits of the Fractal Torrent, the 180 millimeter front fans. They have to be removed to put a 360 millimeter AIO there. If you put a big beefy air cooler on there though, that torrent will bring out performance from that air cooler like you have never seen. It is designed with that in mind. But yeah, sure, if that's the one you want, I'll definitely add that on there. But I'm probably not going to recommend an AIO in that case. 9800X3D, already good. Do they not? I forget. Do they have air coolers here? Okay, I'm not going to recommend a Fractal Torrent build from iBuyPower because there are no air coolers listed here. You're basically taking out the reason you buy a Torrent is for those 180 millimeter front fans. That's why you get it. And of course, the 140 millimeter triple bottom fans. Like, the thing is, they're showing this. Here, let's open. I can't do it. Can I zoom? Some. All right. They're showing this with the 180 millimeter front fans, but with an AIO CPU block here, that's not how this is going to look. These fans get thrown away. They get taken out. This is literally, again, the best thing about this case and the reason you buy it. You have to take these out to put your AIO radiator right here and the fans for it. Because you can't put the radiator at the bottom. That's putting the pump at the top of the loop. You can't put the radiator down here. And you've got yourself a little power supply situation up here where you can't put it on the top either. And you can only fit up to a 140 millimeter fan on the back. So if you're going to go with a company that only does all-in-one liquid coolers, you do not buy a Fractal Torrent with that. Ben, what's up, Ben? How's it going? In Australia, Alienware is selling new gaming PCs with 4060s and 16 gigs of RAM. They're not cheap. How? Alienware sucks. That's how. Okay. Torrent is a huge case. It is a big case. So yeah, I would look at a different case for this. I love the Torrent. When it came time to do, there was a while back where there was a certain viewer who I offered to do a full build for them, the whole thing. And I recommended the Torrent with an NHD 15 Noctua air cooler. So, and it worked great. I mean, holy crap, it ripped. So I would look at other cases here. Where would you suggest? Okay, I got to clear this up then. Are you sort of hard locked on getting a fractal torrent for your case? And if so, why is that? Curious. Like, if you want that because it's the best performing case in Gamers Nexus's case testing, it's no longer that. It's no longer number one. So, what's your reasoning for wanting that particular case? I don't think they have the top performing case, though. And I would have to look at the charts to sort of remember what that is. I just know that the Fractal Torrent's no longer top of the line number one. Is it because you like Fractal? Is it because you like the design? What's your reasoning there? I remember Alienware being the dream back in the day. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Alienware was great. I mean, I was more in line with... Okay, I love the aesthetics of Alienware back in the day. They lost that. Now, it's cool looking. It does look cool. I'll give them that. But it doesn't look insane like Alienware used to look. Alienware used to look insane. It was awesome. And they got all corporate when they got bought out. You like the design of the case. All right. I think it looks cool. I don't think the aesthetics are the main reason to go for the torrent. But you do you, I guess. I also want to mention, it's a very expensive case. Like, we're talking about some of these other cases being more than $100 less. And not cheap cases either, necessarily. And yeah, if you were to go with like an iBuyPower sort of airflow case or whatever, they're $163 cheaper. You're spending a lot on that aesthetic, and I get it. I love the aesthetic. I think it looks cool. But if it was airflow, then you know, something like the new H7 Flow here, something like that. Yeah. Now, if you like Fractal's aesthetic, you could go with a Fractal North XL. This has got that wood grain on it. It looks sick. It can fit a 360 millimeter AIO without sacrificing the main features of the case. But who else can do this that has air coolers? Oh, hold on. Oh, it's too high. Well, yeah, the Assassin from Alexander PCs comes with that. But look, even they have to remove the... I don't like it. I don't like the thought of removing those 180 millimeter fans. I don't agree with this design. It's such a waste. It is such a waste. I mean, I guess if that's something that you want to do, I can do it. It's my own personal preferences, I guess. But, you know. Wow, yeah, they're missing a lot of their stuff. Okay. I think they have the torrent, don't they? Out of stock. It's temporarily out of stock. Huh. It's out of stock at Skytech. What about their pre-configured systems? They don't let you search by case. I thought they had one in Fractal Torrent. I could be wrong. If I just go here and search by price. Yeah, the new Azure 3 Plus is looking pretty slick. I like that. Okay. Not a ton of choices here. Good choices, not gonna lie, but not a ton of them. Okay, who else has it? I don't think Stints uses a torrent. Is Paradox? Meta, maybe? Let's take Meta. I haven't looked at Meta PCs in a long time. Custom. See what cases they have. No Fractal Torrent. Okay. Oh, they got the X2 though. Oh, they got the X2 though. What about Power GPU? No Fractal Torrent. Yep. B-roll of that one was amazing. Which one? What? I just got a new pre-built and airflow cases were in the minority. Lots of fish tanks. I needed fans at the front. I mean, the thing is, fish tank cases can perform just fine. You're talking about a few degrees Celsius difference. Usually. What case would you suggest? All right, well, if we're going back with... I mean, it sounds like you want front intake. I'd say the Landcool 216 would be a great option there, and $135 cheaper. Or the, as I mentioned before, if you like Fractal, the Fractal North XL, with the wood grain slats on it is really distinctive, very cool. So if you like Fractal, that's the other option that they have. It seems like you want a front intake setup, so that'd be a good option. If you want a premium front intake case, there's a Be Quiet Shadow Base 800DX. But that has the mesh. It doesn't have the slats in it like you get with the Fractal Torrent or the North XL. So, yeah. Oh, the X2 case. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I really do like that. I do like that case. The white X2, the white Evolved X2 Matrix, I'm going to need to get that case. I'm going to need them to send me one of those. I'm going to need that for a build. Oh, yeah. So I would suggest this one. I'll give you a better look at it again. This is a design direction that Fractal went in well after the Torrent. The Torrent is a pretty old case at this point. It's a few years old. But this is a direction Fractal went in now. And this sparked a trend in the entire case industry, where case manufacturers were scrambling to try and match the aesthetic of having wood on your case somewhere. And Fractal still is one of the best out there when it comes to how they integrated it. It's a gorgeous case. And very few come close when it comes to this aesthetic. On where it must be interesting dealing with trying to sift through the B-roll that I get, because when I'm at an event, I run around and I try to get I'll redo a shot like 5 times. Like, okay, that one was good. And man, it must be interesting trying to keep up with all that. I'm going to leave it on this for now, but otherwise we can just pick any front intake case. You'd be good to go. Or any case you're interested. I mean, really, what I can do is this. Look, here's what I'll do. Any of these cases... Oh, there's also the... Oh, no, that's not really in keeping with the other one. Any of these cases, other than the Fractal Torrent, will be able to handle a 360mm AIO just fine. I'm just going to send you the link for the build, and you can go through and pick whichever case you like. What was that? These are iBuyPower fans? Very nice. Very interesting. Definitely influenced by other fan manufacturers. Okay. Just gaming, 1440p. You don't even need this, but 9800X3D should fit within the budget, no problem. Let's get you a 360mm AIO to go in there. Let me see what you said about RGB. Not too much RGB. Okay. Well, this should work with that then. RGB on the CPU cooler, on the CPU block, but not on the fans. So that's not going to be too much RGB. There you go. What about the height? Like I said, you can absolutely pick whichever case you like after the fact. I mean, you want a height case? Sure. There's 3 to pick from currently on the site. Y40, Y60, Y70. And probably, maybe they have the Touch Infinite. I don't know. Which ones? We'll go back to cases again. Okay, height cases. Y40 Pro. What's the Pro mean? What does that mean? Okay, Y40, Y60, and Y70. And then there's a Y70 Touch Infinite, which literally adds another $180, but then you get the touch screen on there. The Pro probably means it comes with more fans, I guess. But yeah, I mean, Y60, Y70, either of those is fine if you want to have that sort of larger case. The smaller case would be the Y40. Whichever one works for you. Hold on. Does this... Okay, so top fits a 360. I remember that yet. Okay, so we can do the 360 AIO, no problem. I mean, the Liquid Freezer 3 wouldn't be a bad choice either. Adds RGB fans, but it's thicker. That's not going to fit in every case. What's up, Naked Jakey? How's it going? I mean, wasn't the Avium a wood case from the PC company that failed? Maybe, yeah. Definitely didn't. That company made ripples in the industry for an entirely different reason. Okay, 32 gigs, UR5 6000, totally fine. Oh, and you can basically choose any of these RGB kits of RAM with no additional cost. That's pretty sick. Kingston Fury Beasts, RGB, there you go. 9070 XT, free upgrade to the Asus Prime OC version. That's cool. All right, 9070 XT, 1440p gaming all freaking day long. Some 4K gaming too. I had to scrub through and cut them down. That's fine. There are times where I'll give you notes though, when I'm as if you're sitting there just watching it, like you're watching a regular video. Okay, so absolutely sick combination of the 9800X3D and 9070 XT GPU. Let's not put an MATX motherboard in there for no reason. Oh, hey, look, it's my favorite motherboard of the X670E era. Yeah. Yeah, I'm throwing that on there. That's a really good motherboard. Thing is sick. If you ever take up sim racing, this thing's got you. So much IO. Not expensive. Looks good in any build, black or white or whatever. It looks very, very good. Yeah, and it's not insanely expensive. 850 watt Enermax Revolution 3 is a decent GPU, a PSU. But maybe because there are some 9070 XTs that are like, hey, put a bigger power supply in here. Maybe, because we still have some budget left, maybe we go a little higher to 1000 watts. Go to a 1000 watt power supply. And you can go the RM1000E without much cost at all. It's $62. It's not too bad. Cybernetics Gold, PCIe Gen 5, ATX 3.1, fully modular, all the good things. So this has a 2 terabyte Crucial P3 Plus. It's a decent drive. Let's see. Looking for any any deals that stick out here on the storage. Might want to go up to the NV3 for better speeds. I gotta check something first. Okay, P3 Plus is also DRAM-less. Okay. Just like the... NV3 is also... Yeah, they're both DRAM-less. Okay. Not a huge issue anymore. The performance has really improved with not having onboard DRAM cache. And the numbers stack up to adding $4. I'll do that. Now we could put you on an SSD that has included DRAM. Onboard DRAM cache. Like the SN850X for $46. The performance benefits are generally kind of across the board on that, but like it's more about consistency for really, really long copies, really long read or write functions, not necessarily for gaming. It doesn't make a huge difference for gaming. Interesting. NM790. NM790. Yeah, it's also DRAM-less. Wow. Man, they're just really leaning towards that now. It's weird. We're at $23.99. We also still have our 5% off. So here, let's see this. We'll go SN850X. 2 terabytes, very fast, onboard DRAM cache. Nice. No purple Xbox controller, not nice. Get that out of here. You could add things like sleeved cables if you want to. Sleeved cable extensions always look nice. The video card will ship uninstalled, just so you know. You do need to install the video card yourself, but it's one of the easiest things you can do to a PC is installing the GPU. You just need a simple screwdriver to do it. I think we've built this thing up pretty well. Yep, that's where I met Onward, actually. Yeah, I think we're good. I think this is a full build right here. A 1 terabyte prime and a 2 terabyte. Are you talking about a 1 terabyte boot drive and a 2 terabyte storage drive? Try to parse what you were saying there real quick. Also, should we go beyond the basic? Yeah, let's go with the... really depends on the case you're going to be using, which at this point, I'm not sure what you're going to choose there. Yeah, I would say... go Arctic Liquid Freezer 3. What is it? What's the problem? How is the power supply not compatible with this? How is it not compatible with the cooler being changed? Sure. Actually, I'm interested in this. Let me see. CyberCore 2. CyberCore 2 is A+. The ADATA XPG CyberCore 2. Right here. A+. Hold up. Oh, it's $9 more than that. Okay, never mind. I thought it was cheaper. My bad. Okay, this is fine. You're going to get a 5% discount off of the whole build, by the way. So no worries there. You're going to be well under budget. I just don't know. Oh, that's right. You wanted more storage. Okay. And you know what? Feel free to like chime in earlier with, hey, I want this, and that. Instead of like after I'm done with that whole segment. If if I'm gonna look at storage at one point, you know what I mean? So yeah, just being upfront with those kinds of requirements is always the right thing to do. Only $56 more to have the 2 terabyte SN850X. That is really not bad. Sure. Okay. There's that. It's going to push this. You'll still be under budget after the discount, but, and then we do a 2 terabyte matching one, I guess. Let's see. There you go. 2625 is what's showing there, but it is going to go down in price after we put in my code. And if you choose to go with, say, the Y60, or let's say the Y70, that's going to be $19 more. And you'll need 3 fans as well. You need to add in 3 fans to the build. So, do they have Arctic RGB fans? They do! Look at that. That's going to match the AIO nicely. So there's that. I didn't mean to click that. There we go. They're matching fans for the AIO. There you go. That's going to go in the side intake right there. And that's if you go with that Y70 case. I'll go and throw the Y70 on there. If you don't like that one, then no problem. You can choose a different Hyte case. But there you go. 2687 before my discount. Let's see what it comes down to with my discount added on. We might need to make some changes. Okay, hold on. Actually, hold up. Summary. Let me copy this down. With the extra drive, we're probably going to be a little over budget after my discount. Let's find out. BRAE5 should be the current discount. Okay, that takes off 134. So we're $52 over budget. $25.52. Shipping is free. But yeah, basically, instead of doing a 2 terabyte drive and just adding storage later, you opted to go with 2 drives instead. So you have 3 terabytes of storage, 1 terabyte boot drive, and then a 2 terabyte. Although you'd have to tell them how you want that. They'll probably, I guess they'll set up the 1 terabyte as a boot drive. It's probably going to feel less cool if you have a 2 terabyte boot drive and a 1 terabyte storage drive. My suggestion is just to get a 2 terabyte boot drive and add storage yourself later. It's literally one of the easiest things you can do to a PC, adding storage. And this motherboard has 4 additional slots for storage. We're adding that later. And that would also get it under budget again, because we're over budget a little bit now with that sort of extra storage added on. "4K gaming really that much better than 1440p?" And Mikey responded, "It's a lot better. It makes 1440 look like 1080 respectfully." I mean, yeah. It's a lot more pixels. Fun fact, Nakey Jakey, I've actually been binging actual Nakey Jakey's videos lately. Okay, let's do that. All right, cool. Storage, primary storage. Okay. Oh, that is primary storage. They would have it as a primary. That's good, but let's go with the, there we go. And then just have none for that. Takes off $168. So before discount, we're at $25.75. Let me save the new link here, unless it's the same link. I don't know. I just copy it. I don't really pay attention. So with code BRAE5 or BRAE5, that brings it down to $24.46 and 25 cents. There you go. Nice. Yeah, dude's hilarious. And there you go. All done. His vids are trippy. Yeah. If you like his videos, which I imagine you do based on your name, you really need to check out my buddy Manly Reviews. They give a free Adobe subscription with their builds. I guess so. That was a nice build. It is. 9800X3D and 9070XT is a cheat code for awesome 1440p and 4K performance. I mean, the 9800X3D, not as important there for gaming. It's not, but it was doable within the budget. And if you're doing just gaming, I have nothing against it. Plus, even if it's gaming and streaming, that CPU can definitely do it all. Just once you start getting into video editing and stuff, nah, not 9800X3D. But thank you, G-Code. I'm glad you like the build. Burb, I'm glad you like the build as well. Let us know how that turns out. You can post it in the rigs channel of the Discord once you get it, or even better, share your experience of once you've received the PC, unboxed it, take some pictures, do whatever. Share your experience in the iBuyPower testimonials channel, which is under SI testimonials in the Discord, because other people are going to want to know what your experience was like as an actual buyer. The bad thing about reviews online, if you go read those, is that people can kind of say whatever they want, but SI testimonials on our Discord gives you a unique opportunity to post things showing proof of like, hey, this was great, or hey, this wasn't great. With pictures, if you have any kind of questionable communication from a company, you can share that in the Discord there in your post. Things like that. Those are things that I look at in order to inform my recommendations moving forward. And I need testimonials like that because if it's not going well with iBuyPower, I need to turn off my code with them and basically put the word out like, hey, they're not doing so great right now and they need to do better. I can speak directly with them if there are issues, things like that. It's very helpful. But let me give you a link to my, if you like video game essays and things like that, like what Nakey Jakey does, you'll definitely like my buddy Liam, Manly Reviews. I'll put a link in chat for it. Oh, there's a Sony FX2 now with a viewfinder? What the hell? How did I miss that? If you like video game essay and reviews and things like that, or just talking about video game topics with a lot of hilarity and irreverent humor and special effects and stuff, you'll like Liam's videos. He's a genuinely funny human being. Also, very fun to raid on Twitch too. He makes it a lot of fun. Anyone who's been along with one of those, chime in. Let me know. And if there's ever someone who I raid where y'all are like, oh, that wasn't that great, you need to let me know that too. Feedback on that is always welcome. Just so you know. Wow, Twitch is taking a long time to load. I rated him by myself when you were gone. There you go. Nah, dude's so funny, man. He's really funny. Interestingly, he's not streaming right now, but another friend of mine is. Oh, and this is a... Oh, gee, really? Interesting. Why is this on the wrong color? Probably when I was moving it around incessantly. There we go. Bro's playing one of the best games of all time. Oh, and he modified his on-screen chat to look like... Okay, so my buddy Emmett, who I was supposed to hang out with this week, he's over in San Francisco, is playing one of the greatest video games of all time, and that is Final Fantasy VII, the OG PlayStation version. So liking that shield up on your board behind you. This thing is one of my favorite additions to the studio I've ever made. And by the way, may have made some very interesting inroads into making very fun content around building a PC with it. One of my goals of going to Computex was to talk to certain brands, and another content creator person, builder, modder, PC modder guy, who's going to help out with designing the chassis for the build. And it's one of those weird things where, knock on wood, and this is real bamboo, by the way, knock on wood, it just is sort of like falling together to the point where it may be that ASUS is in on it too. So like, whoa. I've never really worked with them in something where they just send me parts. And that might be what we're doing here. But then again, it's potentially for a very big channel collaboration. So that would be really cool. I really just think that if I build this PC and it turns out good, that I would want to put one in the mini Katana house too. Like I would want them to have one too. It's their product, so we'll see. I remember the unboxing; they did a really good job. That was a fun stream, yeah. And G Code, I thought about it. I came back to them with the thing where they did the holes weren't punched in the strap, and they were like, "Thank you for letting us know. We need to know that stuff. If that's happened, we don't just like go unbox every one of those. And if there's those kind of issues, we need to know." I was thinking about it, and if you're just going to mount the thing on your wall, it doesn't matter if there's no holes punched in the leather to put on your arm. And if you're a cosplayer, you kind of probably want to put those in custom anyway, and you have the tools to do it if you're a cosplayer. So I don't know. It's not the biggest deal. That was like the only issue I found with it. It's otherwise a super slick shield. Like I love this thing. I don't know if I'd go surfing on it, but you know, I ain't Link, so who knows. But yeah, it would move if I do build a PC into it. It would be on the wall over here instead, but it would still be in the shot like all the time. So let me actually double check that. So if I zoom in, yeah, it would be where the Twitch sign is right there. It would be up there. I was thinking about getting one of those custom neon signs with RG, you know, our buddy RGB, right where the shield is right now. If I do that, yeah. All right, guys. I'm loving the illuminated frames. Yeah, they're really cool. They're really cool. I worry because I had one that already went out. But yeah, I mean, it all kind of brings that design together with the Legend of Zelda stuff. I guess it would look pretty cool if the PC was right there and I could just have a desk setup right in front of it. I don't know. But yeah, sometimes I'll like unplug one of them and I forget to plug it back in and I do a stream and I'm like, oh, great. One of them wasn't lit up. Everything gonna go to sleep, go to Micro Center tomorrow in Santa Clara. Oh, fun. Wait, doesn't it opens on Friday? I thought it opened on Friday. Is it already open? And they're just doing a grand opening on Friday? Damn. Maybe I could have managed it anyway if it was already open. Well, anyways, stick around, everybody, at least just so that I can raid my buddy Emmett and make it a little extra fun. Even if you got to go, I would appreciate that. Or just leave it on lurk or wherever. Just because I want to raid this. I haven't raided him in a while, and I got to let him know that I'm not out there. I'm not staying in San Francisco after all. So I could just message. I could just DM him about that, but you know, whatever. Oh, a special invite. Nice. I guess that's probably when I would have been going too, because PC World had the invite as well. So you'll probably see Adam out there. If you do, say hi. Tell him I said hi. But that's going to be it for this stream tonight, guys. I'll be back on, I guess, tomorrow night. I don't think I want to move it to Friday. So we're doing one after the other. So I'll see y'all tomorrow night, tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. Central. And until then, take care.
Let's go, nerds!